on it.
Does that mean any music as well?
I don't have any music.
Your
Uh,
imagination.
yeah, unless you've got some tracks you'd like to play.
That's fun. Let's go. I'll use my imagination.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen,
Overlap.
coming to you
Right,
on this
and
Friday night.
hey everybody, we are back at it again. I know last couple episodes I slid out in the second half, had some things go on, but we're here. Hopefully, it's not third time's a charm. But this session, we are brought back to the Wild North. This will be kind of a secondary storyline for you guys, first time watching. That's going on in the same world, whereas the main campaign is in the Silver Heel, far in the same world, chains of islands to the east of the world, silver like heel, southeast, I guess. We are in the Northlands, chains of islands, a frozen tundra and an expansive wilderness. We are in the Northlands. So I will kick us frozen tundra. And I guess with the recap, does anyone want to do a recap? Does anyone remember anything? Does your mind go back?
Yeah. I took notes. I'll take notes. So uh, this is what my notes had. So when we made our characters, I think a couple days before the session. So one, we all were basically given a letter or a quest by. Let me open up my character sheet here. What else we're at? We're given a quest by Quintus Varus as a sponsor from the loyal from an academy. He's looking for artifacts across the Mall of Malkandor, and we were sent to accompany him to help resupply his forward camp there. Um, Upon there, we met several people as we were kind of journeying along there. We met Quartermaster Maven Ustra, who's the butcher slash quartermaster slash
she runs the entire fucking camp. Everyone's mom, basically.
For my character, that was part of my character. I met Abdul, who's the leader of the trading section of the Ebony Hawk. That's the Adventurers Guild. That's a part of the caravan, but not a part. But they're not like, tried and true member. They just kind of are,
they're hired on. Yeah.
Hired to do their services there. Batu was the hunter we met when I believe it was Jay's character Gorm that seen a giant elk that Batu one shot, from downtown, 360 no scoped it, brought it back to Maven Nostra where we had hunted and we had some experience. And we basically got to this city, all foreigners met at a tavern, leaving tavern, met to camp. After going to camp, we traveled 3 days, I believe, 3 or 4 days, something like that.
Yep.
And was no encounters that we needed to be placed on the map. So it went pretty smoothly, and we're almost level 2, or at least I am level 2 at 700 experience points. That's my notes.
Hey, good notes. You get inspiration. Just a couple things I'd add. Zawenya, your character, everyone was hired on as caravan hands, kind of the low of the low. Over the first couple of days, people's skills started coming out, and Zawenya is a merchant. She's working for Abdul, kind of his understudy, running errands, doing some basic low-level stuff. Tyrone is still a day laborer. That's Mark's character. He's a charlatan, so he's hoping to kind of stand out. He's been trying to step in as a supervisor, trying to get that promotion. It might pan out. And then Gorm was a chef. He's working for Maven Estra in kind of the cafeteria, whatever you want to call it, in the kitchens. Yep. Chopping potatoes or peeling potatoes and slicing onions.
Yeah. It's fucking raw.
And so you guys have traveled. You are on the fourth day. So 1, 2, 3. Yep, I guess 4. It's early morning, and the caravan is just stirring with the early signs of life. This is before dawn. a variety of workers are getting up to get their tasks as the camp is getting set up to travel the next day.
Mhm.
Mivinestra, she's barking orders. You can see her talking to a variety of different people. Different teams are cutting off, propping up the kitchens, getting firewood, getting basically the soup kitchens situated. Um, Gorm, you'd be a part of that, but she's going to ask you to hold. She's like, hold for a moment. I I need you to do something for me. Do you know the girl? What is her name? That girl that helped you last time? Pretty one, dark features.
Probably the only other girl in here.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
What one of three maybe?
Uh, Tell her, go and find her. Uh, Abdul asked me that she help out uh, because as we go through the pass, we're not going to be setting up payroll. So I need you and her to go and grab a couple other people. I need you guys to refill our water stocks. We're going to travel through this mountain. We don't know, but when we're going to have some fresh water, there is a farm nearby, maybe 4 miles away. Meet and then also track down. Sorry, Kuya. She needs to water the animals. Find her, meet with her. I need you to refill our water stocks, and she needs to water the animals. But you guys are to go to this farm, try to negotiate and buy some feed, and head back here before the camp heads out. Should be early morning.
Could you put the name in chat as well?
It
Tuya?
is
For Tuya?
Tuya. You have met her before.
Yep.
She's like the animal handler of the camp. She's usually herding goats. She's got all of the yaks and the beasts of burden situated. But find her and help her out, basically feeding and watering the animals, and then refilling because I believe there is a stream. There's a natural water source. There's a stream near that farm. So
I can do that. That's not a problem.
Farm have a name?
yes, it's a Hammerstead farm.
Okay.
Look for a man named Brahm. Let him know that you're with Mavenestra and the Ebon Hawk. We sometimes will go there and do trade. They're good people. Just be careful not to cause any trouble.
Will do. Anything
Good.
else?
No.
Like any other intel I can get before I go? How many people do you think we'll need? I know we got a big caravan, so roughly how many barrels of water have we kind of seen?
She gestures over. She's like, she kind of nods her head towards it's already been set up. There's there's 5 like 50-gallon barrels.
Mhm.
Like she's like, that's all of her empty barrels. And then as far as food, I'll leave your judgment to that. And she hands you a purse of coins, which has about 250 coppers.
Okay.
It's like, haggle. That's one of the reasons why I wanted you to get that girl. She's got a quick wit and she can talk to a lot of people. Haggle if you have to, but pay them a fair wage. Don't cheat them. They are good people. But anything that'll keep. Vegetables. We need some green vegetables for the men.
All right, will do. And he'll tuck the purse and sort of take off into the camp, trying to find. He'll start off by looking for Zoenya, before, and if he finds Tuya or oh crap, I forgot his. Mark, what's your character's name again? I'm so sorry.
Tyrone.
Tyrone. If he sees either Zwenya or Tyrone or Toya, whoever he sees first, he'll stop to talk to. But he's gonna just kind of start booking it towards the side of camp that he knows Toya and at least Zwenya would be.
I think you guys are camped right next to each other. Remember, if you kind of set up near you guys.
Oh, that's right. Yep, that's right. You are right.
So
Thank
she basically is the
Yeah.
tent next door.
Yeah.
What are
Mhm.
She
you?
was afraid of being abused.
Yeah, and you guys didn't seem like creepers.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just kind of step
Didn't
over.
seem.
Didn't
Kinda,
seem. I mean,
it did
you
seem
don't
like
know.
it. So I'll just step over and sort of kind of knock on both Tyrone and Zwenya's tents, just to see if they're still in there or if they're off doing something. I'm assuming they'd still be in their tent. Hey,
We'll cut.
Probably.
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, Zwenya, what's the morning look like for her? Is she an early riser?
Absolutely, because this is a dangerous place. So she must be up earlier than most to make sure that fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, and I get fooled again, kind of thing. She wakes up early. If there's any kind of stream or water nearby, she would shower early because some strange stuff going on, some brouhaha stuff. But she would shower early, or clean her, bathe early, change her dressing.
He's up at 5, even earlier than that. Sun hasn't even broken. It's still effectively dark out.
I mean, people back then people generally got up early anyway at the crack of dawn. So she
that's what I'm saying. That's when he would be notified.
Yeah, she'd be like 4:30ish, right?
Okay.
4:30ish. Most trade people jobs in early anyway. So she's not working super past dusk. But yeah, she would 4:30 wake up, change dressing, clothes, geared up. She would look around here, and she'd be up. She'd be alert. It's a dangerous place out here. So you would find her in her tent, fully awake, and as you knock, he says, "Can I help you?"
Zwenya, it's Gorm. Got a job from Maven Estra that you might be interested in. She actually requested me come find you for the help if you're willing to take a little trip.
What did Abdul say? Am I allowed to go? I work for him.
I haven't talked to him yet. I wanted to find you first since you're right here. Figured we could we had to go talk to Tuya, and banging on the tent again of Tyrone. Hey, Tyrone, you up?
Yeah, I'm coming. He takes his time. 30 seconds pass. He opens the door. He looks groggy. Well, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I was just talking with Zwenya as well. I got a job from Maven Estra that I think you might be able to help with. So what do we got? Well, there's a farm nearby. We need to go to the farm, pick up food, purchase food. And that's what Maven Estra was requesting you, Zwenya. Do a little haggling, little wheeling dealing for the food, but we also got to go to hit up a stream to fill about 5 50-gallon water barrels that we've emptied out so far on our trip. We need to grab Tuya on the way as well for the animal handling piece. I'm assuming we're gonna need a cart for these barrels, so someone to help.
Yeah, I was
pull
gonna
the cart.
ask that. I'm not very strong. I can't carry a 50-gallon drum of water.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily the most strong either, but she did request. She did
Yeah.
say talk with Tuya. So, would you guys be
I
willing?
could
Would you guys
do
be
it.
up for that?
I just don't want to. Yeah, let's go see Tuya. She's the animal handler, so she'll have animals to pull a cart, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Probably
absolutely.
she has the carts too, so
And I would love to
one
learn the
stone,
language.
2 birds.
I would love to learn the language. I'm working on my northern. She says, or she tried to say hello in Mongolian or Northern.
Give me an intelligence and see.
Listen, I'm gonna hit on level 1, all right, guys.
We'll
Working
see.
on it. Intelligence check. Here we go. 23.
Ooh,
Pretty good. You got it down. Accent sounds good.
That sounds coming along. Nice job.
I'm gonna Google my. So, hold on. Go ahead and check
You
this
are
out.
smarter than you look.
I'm a southerner. Yeah. We have education where we're from. Where are you from, buddy?
Oh, I'm an Easterner.
And you guys just go raid and pillage, right? You guys don't have time for letters and such.
Nah, writing's for fools.
She looks at him and says, "You're strange for an Easterner. Though I've never seen an Easterner so far north. You cold?
Not by choice, I'm sure.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me." She turns to Gorm and say, "So we're trying to find a person that has your exact name." That's interesting.
No, Brom. That's the name of the farmer.
Oh, you know their name sounds so like. I'm sorry.
You gotta get you've gotten really good with just speaking the words. Now you just gotta get the inflection. You'll be good. You'll be right there. I promise.
He says, "Hold on."
She says, "Fuck are you?"
Oh, fuck are you?
She says, "Sign you, sign you, sign." North probably a little more like drumbly. Sign you.
There you go. Say it with your diaphragm.
Yeah.
Say it with the chest.
Yeah, say it like a fucking kung fu character. Sign you.
You.
Yeah, we're getting some angry letters coming.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's. Do we need to speak with Abdul Zwenya before you just kind of walk off?
Well, what did Maven requested me? Did she talk about Abdul at all?
She said to at least just let him know you're leaving.
Okay, well then I'll go see him. Are you coming along?
Yeah, we may as well just roll together because we got to talk to Tuya as well.
All right.
Yeah, I'll
You
follow
also
you
need-
guys.
You also probably need some more people.
Yep. Well, that's
Okay.
where the question of
Yeah. I'm gonna go see if I can find my my little crew that I made last time. I had 2-3 people that helped me with the horses that I bossed around, so I'm gonna go find those guys. And I'm gonna tell them that we need help lugging water. It's a very important job for the camp. Everybody needs water. They'll be extremely thankful. We should take care of this.
It's mission critical.
Yeah, man.
Got these really big words.
Like, well, gee. We'll resolve Zawinya and Gorm heading over to Abdul, and then we'll go to the Tyrone. So you guys move along camp. It's not very far. When it's set up like this, it's in a big circle with all of the caravans kind of outside. As you jog over, you do see the faint candle flicker, like light coming through. It's warm. But he's in. Yeah, he's in.
I would knock on the door because he has a really nice tent. I would go.
Yeah, he's got like one of those.
Yeah,
like,
the war tents, right?
Double. No, it's like a double wide. It's like a.
Ooh, he's like a modular. Here's a modular home over there.
Yeah, it's basically like yeah, like a mobile,
Yeah,
like a
fucking air
wooden
conditioning.
mobile.
Does he have air
home.
conditioning in there? Like, like
If you want to come in, he'd probably invite you.
It's got bells and whistles, boy.
She just knocks.
Yeah, it takes some time, but you eventually see the creaks and the movement of this man as the door swings open. He looks rough. It's early. He's got deep bags under his eyes. Eyes are bloodshot. He's got maybe 2 days worth of like. He's got a beard, but kind of that outgrowing. It looks rough.
Yeah.
He needs to get lined up. But he looks down and he's like,
kind of like this.
yeah. He's like, what, woman? What do you want, girl?
She says, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you, Abdul. But I've been given a request by Quartermaster Mavinestra that was levied to me by this northerner here, Gom. That being said, he requested me to go buy provisions of water and not water, food for ourselves and the animals from a nearby farm. This may take all day. Could I request this time to do this task? And she just bows.
It's like, I don't care what you do. That's fine. We won't be. I don't have any use of you over these next few days. That's fine. Don't get yourself killed. And he just closes the door as abruptly as he swung it open.
She says, Thank you. And she turns and says, I believe that I am free for the next several days. So you have my wit, you have my pen.
Thank you. Let's head over and talk to Tuya. Make sure we can get her on board.
Zawinga has joined the party.
Yep. And then we'll cut over to Tyrone. Tyrone, you're looking for these guys. I imagine like all of the hands kind of working in a similar area, tents popped up. You'd be able to find them pretty easily. Do you remember the names of these guys, these fellows?
We didn't name them last time. They were
well,
just my crew. I don't know. We can name them now if you want.
Yeah, let's name them. They're going to be two. They're two Westerners.
Jay, you got one? You're like half Gaelic, aren't you? Like quarter?
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take a few percentages.
Yeah, it's one of those you never know truly. You could do Liam for one. That's a nice, nice Irish
Liam Neeson.
Kale's one.
You say Kale?
Kale.
Liam and Kale. I'll put that in the chat. I'm going to make a note of it. Both Liam and Kale. Liam, he's a bit shorter than Kale, probably he's maybe 5'5", but stocky dude. And he doesn't look very bright, but he does look like he can carry some things.
That's
Kale,
great. That's how I like him.
And Kale, on the other hand, is long and reedy. He's a bit goofy with no chin, but he seems like a nice guy. They both wake up, and Liam welcomes you with a handshake. Kale just kind of his hands in his pockets, like, "What's going on?"
Hey, we got some work, guys. We have an opportunity to make ourselves important for these people here. They need food and water, and we've been asked to provide these things. We're going to procure them at a nearby farm. We have a few people coming with us. They're going to get a wagon and some animals to carry the barrels of water. We just need people to fill the barrels and protect them on the way there. And I thought you guys would be perfect for this job.
Liam looks up to Kale, and Kale is like, just shrugs, his hand still in his pocket. He's like, "Well, it beats digging latrines."
It
Yeah.
sure does.
Screw that. Liam nods. He's like, "Yeah, last week Abdul had me fix some wagon wheels. The fuck do I look like? I'm no carpenter. Took me all day. This is easy
now we're
money."
gonna go for a nice walk and play in the water, boys.
Sounds good. You see Liam, he goes into his tent, and he comes out with like a big like poorly woven hat. It looks like some woven twine and then just some leaves and stuff. And then Kale, he's just trucking on. He's like, "All right, let's go." He's kind of got like a shaggy walk. He's knobby-kneed, really long and reedy.
I'm gonna tell them if you have any weapons, bring them with you. You never know.
No, we ain't got no weapons. How dangerous is this going to be?
Oh, I expect not dangerous at all, but I mean, I've never been there.
Yeah, I ain't got no weapons. Here, we'll be
Should
all
we
right.
go see Quartermaster Mavenestra? Maybe she can give us some spears.
Oh, that's why you're the smart one. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go. And you guys head off to Mavenestra. We'll cut back to the I'll just say, just for the sake of brevity, you guys just go stop by, and she'll give them a couple of like clubs, basically, just some cudgels.
That's fine.
Yep.
I had a short spear that the hunter gave me. I don't know if I kept it or not. Would he have taken that back?
No, that was a gift
when we went for the buck. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and it's basically, the spear is nothing special. It's got like a stone tip, so it's basically throwaway.
It's pointy. I like it.
It'll work. It will do. So we're cutting back. Gorm and Zwinja, you make your way over. You see Tuya. She's kind of staging the animals. She has a couple of workers there. They've got the goats. They're trying to reel them in. You can hear the bells on their necks as they're moving. The yak that they have. There's dozens of them. It's almost like a large herd at this point. And you see kind of big swirling circles as they're trying to get these things up and moving. A couple of them are trying to graze on some like roots, but there's really not much here for these things to eat. And yeah, you just see Chia kind of working the area. She's got a large dog by her side, always a husky. It's running around and it's helping kind of herd these animals.
To try to not spook the animals or spook the dog at all. Gorm as walks up is gonna try to keep a wide berth, but try to get Toya's try to catch Toya's eye, and do that kind of northern wave, sister.
You catch her vision, and she gives you one look, looks back to the person she's speaking with, says something curtly. That person runs off, and then she heads over. Behind her is a small goat, like a kid, that's kind of running beside her, away from the rest of the herd. It seems to like imprinted itself on her. It will not leave her. But she walks up to you. She gives you a nod and
Sister,
looks at you blankly.
Maven Estra sent me to speak with you about coming with a small group so we can get fill the water barrels, as well as go to the Hammerstead farm, purchase some food. So she did want me to speak with you about coming with when using a couple of the ox or yoke and a wagon to sure we can carry all the supplies.
She nods and she says, "Good. There's not much feed here for the animals to graze. As we get higher into these hills and over the next several days, there's almost no food for them. I know this. I know of this farm. I was planning to go there myself to have them graze and drink from the stream there. That will do. You may join us. Did you need anything from me? How large are those barrels?"
There's
50-gallon barrels. 4 of
five
them, right?
5 of them, 5 50-gallon barrels.
And she nods. I don't. Give me a second. She'll head off. And you see her go to a couple of hands and ask them to unload a cart. From the cart, they pull off various sacks of things, belongings, foods, dried rations, that sort of thing. And they set it down. It was like half. And she'll come back. She's got like a large, I don't know what they're called. Are they bull whips? It's like a leather, hard leather.
Like cat o' nine tails, like a scourge.
No, it's
The true
not
long,
like that.
long like an Indiana Jones whip.
Not like that. It's a
Oh.
hard. It's like
a cravache.
maybe.
I
Oh,
don't
you mean like the
know what it
training whip? Like, are you talking about like the circus people?
It's like a sturdy stick with a tiny leather
A
strap
crop.
at the
Yes.
end.
A crop.
A crop.
Is that
what
it's
would
called?
be it
Yeah, it's
in
called the
English.
crop.
Thank you. She's got a crop and she is smacking the like very lightly on its behind, almost rhythmically. Just she doesn't have to use force for these animals, and they just move as she kind of gently taps them and course corrects as they move forward. But the cart comes by, and it's huge. It's large enough to not only carry the barrels, but also a couple of people, a couple of layabouts, I'm sure, want to rest their legs.
Yep.
She's like, "This should do. I will gather the herd and my people, and we can head there. It shouldn't take but a few hours."
Sounds perfect. I'll gather the rest of the people that I've gathered to ensure we have enough muscle for the barrels. And meet you right back here.
Very well. And she just turns abruptly. She walks in and almost disappears with the herds of animals, horses and yaks, and there's chickens and goats and a variety of different things she's kind of moving through. And she moves through them expertly, almost like the wave of these things are just parting around her, but she eventually disappears from your guys' line of sight.
I've gathered a cart here.
Cart has been obtained.
Yeah.
We have gained several animals that can carry her.
And so, yeah, pull the, get that cart at least back, so we can get the barrels loaded.
And I'd say at that time, Tyrone, Liam, and Kale kind of come. He's got, Liam, who's a stout looking dude, and Kale, who looks like just a straight hillbilly, essentially. He's got like worn coveralls that are high waters. He's got his hands in his pocket, knobby kneed, just kind of coming down.
Gonna fuck my sister is me.
Yeah, basically.
Well, howdy, y'all.
Yeehaw. This is the West now. I'm not sure how y'all do it in the North, but it's a little different around here.
Yeah, he's Westerner. He's got like freckles, that classic blonde, messy hair.
Yeah, dirty blonde. But yeah, so the winged would say, greetings. These are two associates. Looks at Liam and Kale.
Yes, these gentlemen here are going to accompany us on our mission to retrieve food and water for these nice people here.
They look very strong, enough to protect me, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm sure that where you're from, you take the life of women very seriously. She bows deeply. Thank you for your sacrifice.
As soon as you said that, the strong, both of them kind of, shoulders back a little bit.
I'm tough. I'm tough. I work out. I mean, I saved my sister from a dragon once. I was like 6, but
yeah, but they're for what they lack in smarts, they are hard workers. That you can, they would load the barrels with no problem. Just load them up, and then Liam and Kale both hop in the back of the cart and just hanging out.
Dudes that have the stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yep. And there's plenty of room. The cart would be able to basically for all of you guys.
On the way there, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
On the way back, we might have to walk though.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we should meet Toya back at the herd, so that way we can head out. Make sure we don't, lose these animals, because she kind of scares me sometimes.
Tanya does sound very
sometimes.
Scary. Lord. Tanya is very scary. I'm not sure what happened to her face, but Tamale is very interesting. Hopefully she does. Hopefully doesn't do too much to us.
No, she seems very upfront, straightforward. Likes her animals, so.
Yeah, I wonder. Does she feed anybody to those things?
Does she what?
Does she feed anybody to those things? I wonder.
Yeah, I get the sense that she likes her animals more than she likes the people.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that would be.
I wouldn't cross her.
You definitely would probably notice that outside of her immediate people that she works with, she doesn't talk to anyone. Every once in a while, Batu, but I mean, it's brief. She definitely clings away from in the shadows, away from people, that sort of thing.
All I can imagine is like God of War with Kratos and his son Atreus, the first game. It's like, boy. Boy.
Yeah, and
Atreus.
Retrieve my axe, boy.
That's literally what I imagine Atreus saying. Batu, get the sheep now, boy. It's literally just.
Yeah, of all the things that comes out of her mouth, words are rarely it. She's she's shouting at animals and making clicking noises and trying to,
are we talking Xena Warrior Princess clicking or like
no, like when you're hurting and like come here.
Yeah,
making noises.
Yeah. So she's making like turkey calls and stuff.
Basically, yeah. She's like the anti-Disney princess. She's got all these animals.
It's like I actually earned my actual thing.
Yeah, she broke most of these animals. And actually, you would see her whole crew kind of orchestrate this thing. It's for those who maybe didn't live on a farm or with any animals, you see a lot of people calling. They've got a couple of work dogs herding them all. And Talia, she's on the back of a large draft horse, kind of moving through them, smacking them, that sort of thing. But it gets going. There's probably about maybe 18 of these yaks, a couple dozen goats, and a few chickens. But as she's you guys are traveling, it's moving very slowly. It's probably going to take you a few hours to get to the farm, she says. You see her ask for an attendant to go and retrieve her hawk. It's in a like a brass cage. It's very fine, very beautiful. It's got a covering over it. Pulls the hawk out. It's got these blinders on its eyes. And she latches a leather like cuff around its leg, but it sits perched on her arm. And as you guys are traveling, at some point she sees something and takes away in front of the herd. The horse kind of galloping maybe a couple 100 yards ahead. Nice. And she spots something. You guys' attention are kind of drawn to her vision line. And she releases the hawk kind of quickly. And you see it take up into the air, and it circles for a bit, and then boom, it just dives. You see it far into the distance. It's got something. Its claws are pulling at it, and it's pecking at this thing. And it does take some time, but you guys eventually kind of go up there. She meets up with it, and she comes back to meet the rest of the group, and you see this rabbit. It's dead, but tied to her saddle and she's ready. And the hawk, she kind of gets prepped back again with the blinders and cuffed on her large mitt.
Dude, this is like some Legend of Zelda shit right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two years cool. But she kind of falls back like nothing happened. Like this is just another Tuesday.
Yeah. Just
like, I'm not sure if you know, but I'm a level 37 adventurer animal handler here. Grandmaster over here.
But she'll fall back.
I'll go up to her after that little demonstration. I want to have a little chit chat. I like to know the people I'm with. And I'll just very calmly, I really don't want to make her upset. I'll say that was very impressive display of skills that your bird showed. I like how you have such, I don't want to say control, but you have a relationship with your animals that's kind of almost symbiotic. It's really beautiful. I'd love to learn how you do this.
She gives you a side glance from atop her horse, and there's a smirk on her face. The side that's facing you would be her good side, and she kind of smirks.
Yeah, I went to her right.
Yeah. And she looks to you and she's like, okay, well, I don't know. Each animal has its own spirit. Some you must break, but others, there is a natural bond. It's a hard thing to describe. I don't think there are words. She's speaking Northern.
Yeah, my Northern's a little broken, but
yeah. She can hear you. She understands you, but she can speak. I don't know. Yeah, you would just hear Northern like flat out, and she'd respond to you, but I don't know if you can speak it. You're Eastern, so probably not.
Yeah, probably not. We've been with these people for like 4 or 5 days now.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I picked up a couple words, but
like say y'all.
And yeah. But I want to show my respect, and I want to let her know that if you have free time, I come visit. You teach me?
She knows that word, teach, and she says, teach. You come later at camp. We talk. But she says again in Northern. She doesn't even attempt the language.
That's
But-
all right. I
But she'll
canker.
she'll give you a curt nod. There's a lot of hesitation, and she kind of gives you several glances, maybe either sizing you up or maybe just kind of distrustful, just scanning, like what are the ulterior motives
Well, yeah,
here?
people don't generally talk to her. So
Yeah.
like in my mind, I'm like, well, she's a very important person. Her job is important. She has clout here, and she's not friends with anybody. So
Yeah. She'll recognize it and she nods. And other than just her gestures. But after a while, she'll kind of kick the horse and trot off down the path, kind of blazing the area.
awesome.
But-
Now I have a keen interest in learning Northern.
Yes, everyone apparently. It's probably a good thing to learn. Didn't Abdul give you a book or something? I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
Yeah. He gave me a book to help manage the stores and stuff like that, but he didn't.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember now. It's a book on language. One, he probably just doesn't have. Two,
It's hella expensive.
extremely expensive.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
1,000 copper pieces.
Stuff like that probably doesn't really exist commonly, right?
It's
No.
1,000 copper
Right.
pieces for a book.
For
Yeah.
a book.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's right. I remember it's in the there's no way. He's like, you're the clerk. You're like
Yeah, like
level
I'm like,
Man,
one.
let's start
I'm
making
like the
paper. We'll
res-
be rich.
like
Yeah.
Right? No kidding.
I'm the receptionist. Like, imagine like the boss saying, "You know what? Here's like a $5,000 bonus here. You're pretty cool. Enjoy."
Well, we would wonder what you did with the bosses.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
you get pretty. Hey, it's like
How bad do you want to learn that language?
They're like, hey, it's like, honey, you should get all these bonuses so often. What's going on here? I'm just really good at my job, you know. It's really
So
good.
good.
I will on the way, like when Tyrone walks off to do that, I will just kind of have a quick conversation as well with Zwenya. Zwenya, Maven Estra did want to me to get you because of your bartering skills, your ability with trade, with purchasing
barter?
items. So yeah, so they do trade with this home, farmstead quite often, or purchase from this farmstead quite often. So
Mhm.
we want to make sure we get a good price for what we're looking to purchase, but we do want to try and get a good price for what it is we're purchasing without
Yeah.
going too crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Without robbing these people.
Wait,
Is what
there
she
you
go.
told
That's
you.
it. Thank you. I couldn't remember
Yeah.
the exact words without robbing these people. So just
I
keep
don't
that in
rob
mind.
anyone that makes a deal with me. All's fair in business and war.
Well, just keep that in mind. We don't want to make Maven Estra mad. when
Oh,
it's
of
all
course
said and
not.
done.
Of course. I will do the best I can to secure the best deal for the caravan. That is my job as a trader. I do my job, I think, very well.
I would have to agree if Maven Estra is requesting you specifically. So
Well, I'll have you know that me and Maven Estra are like this.
2 fingers
Yeah.
apart, not crossed.
Oh, like no, like this, like tight, like this. Not that's a different kind of party. Man. That's a different kind of. That's a different kind of.
That's why I'm making sure, you know.
Yeah, like this.
Hey,
this.
I've seen-
this.
I've seen Maven Estra looking at you the same way some of the guys do. I don't know. You might.
You
No,
probably would.
she
yeah.
no. She says
Wow.
she just understands the woman experience, the feminine experience. She says,
Yeah.
yeah, she definitely
Is it-
doesn't see me like that.
Oh yeah. Other than
is
Maven
that-
Estra and Tuya, literally no other women.
Is that what
And-
that look is? Because I couldn't read it. I don't know what women think.
My father once told me that even women don't understand each other sometimes. So I just go with what I feel. I just try to make the best amount of money, the most amount of money, as fairly as humanly possible. We're the trader. Jesus,
Perfect.
thumbs up.
Sounds good to me. And
You
just
can
sort
defend
of
me, right? You can defend me, right? If any banditry happened, because that's still a thing, right? We're still like
you
miles
still
away.
yeah you see the spear slung across his back. And
says,
can actually, DM, could I have taken like one of the chef's knives with me as like a makeshift dagger, just knowing we were leaving the camp, or would that not
give
be?
me a 1D100. Let's
Okay.
see.
Because I know that's
call high or
my.
low.
Okay, I'm gonna say high.
With a 99, I can't turn that away.
Okay.
Yeah, you kept your knife
Okay.
handy. It wouldn't, it's a little dull chopping all
Yeah.
those onions, but it's got a sharp point.
Yeah, just I mean, it's just more just to have kind of that idea of some sort of safety in case something happens. I mean, because I think a dagger's like
D4.
D4, yeah.
Yeah, you can call it a dagger. And Kale, he's in the back of the wagon. His legs are kicked up. He's all, I got you. I'll protect you just as well. He pops up. Check this out. And he shows off his cudgel, which is a nice piece of wood. I mean, I don't he's like, I got one of these suckers. They come up on me, and he jumps up. He's on the cart, kind of balancing himself. He's like, crack these guys' heads open. No problem. Just you watch.
I think between the at least the 3 people that are sitting here, we might be I think we got your back.
Liam laughs. He's like, Kale more bound to knock his own self out. And then he kicks him in the butt, and he falls out of the moving wagon. Tumbles on top of himself.
He says, "This is going to be a long trip." Since she begins to so she would ask Gorman, say, "Can you translate this phrase for me since you're a northerner?" Hi, my name is Sawinga. I'm here on behalf of the caravan to broker a trade deal with you.
And he'll start word by word.
On
Hua Zuenya, Si Hua Ho. Whatever the northern translation would be.
Fucking canceled.
Oh yeah, it was northern with that name. So, but yeah, just he'll translate everything out and sort of he'll actually, if we have anything like that we could use, like try to almost write it out like phonetically for her to say, if we have just like a basic.
I mean, she would have some paper.
Okay.
Well, she'd have paper because she does the books.
That's assuming people can read around here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I can read and write because I'm a trader. It's like, did your pop teach you letters?
But as you guys travel, you notice the area open up into a clearing where there is some grasslands and rolling hills here. You do spot the blue flicker of a small creek that runs through here. As the sun is just coming up, it's early morning. I would say 8 a.m. I guess it's not just coming up. It's been up for some time. Now, as you arrive, I'm going to move you guys to the map. We got maps.
Ooh.
We'll say you're coming from this path up here. Let me ping you.
Okay. Drop ourselves on the map here.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool. I'll do so.
And I'm just gonna point out, Zoenia, while I'm doing that, I'm like trying to get your lips to actually maneuver the proper way to say the words with the right inflection.
Like,
Trying to help teach her northern tongue.
Right.
It's a tilde over the A, not a.
And she's like, oh,
More rounder.
It's gonna take a little bit longer than a few hours.
Yeah.
But you guys can work together and learn each other's language, I imagine.
Yeah, I look over
Oh,
to you, and Gorman says, all right, how does this sound? Sanu Bano no Nanagata Zawina Gata Kamenta Fuda Luda
Yeah, we're
Kingdom.
canceled already. It's been a good run, guys. Thank you for all the
That's what it
viewers for
says.
watching.
That's what it's.
So
I'm
what are you
trying. I'm trying. That's what it
what are
says.
you attempting to say to her?
So this is what I
As you go up to
said.
her.
Shout out to my Mongolian guys out there. I said, "Hi, hello, my name is Zawina. Can I trade with you?"
And you're practicing with Tuya? Just kind of
Yes.
talking at her.
Yeah.
Give me an intelligence.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I got my education.
You did.
Well, you're talking with Toya, or are you talking with me?
Everybody, I'm like
Okay.
to you, so I'll pull it with you because we're pretty close. I'm practicing, so I'm not repeat it again because I may actually get canceled.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yep. So 17.
She kind of gives you a weird look. She generally understands it. You would I guess Brahm, you would know straight up. It didn't come out that way. It was like, hello, trading. And it's like, what? Okay. It's like I get it, I think. That's the kind of look she gives you, like
Told you
Okay.
more inflection and more emphasis on that. Oh, round it off. Ooh, boil.
So Balakuko, you, Balaku.
it'll do.
Closer.
You feel you feel
It'll
it's
get
passable.
by. Yeah.
She's screaming Balakulo, you, Balako, no you, and she's literally trying the language best she can to round out this like because her language is a lot more different pronunciation, especially like basically Swahili / Arabic to Mongolian. That's
You guys don't make similar sounds. There's certain sounds that you're like,
no.
How the hell am I doing this gurgling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me try this one. Anyway, so you guys kind of with the light banter, you make it up here. After some time, the area opens up and you see a small set of cottages. And this farm opens up, and you basically see what you see here: 2 plots of land, several people are working it. There's a man chopping wood. 2 men are hoeing and pulling roots and killing bugs. There's a small boy. He's probably 8. He's not doing much. He's just dicking around, to be honest. You see a hoe that's just leaned up against the
instrument
fence there.
Not a person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I mean, either one, I guess.
Right. And there's a couple of people early working. There's an older man here. He's pulling things out of a cart. Looks like he's preparing some food. He's got a sack of flour, that sort of thing.
Do they all look of northern descent, or is it mixed?
None of them, actually. Yeah. All of them, you would suspect they're Western. The boy looks like he could potentially be northern. He's got very distinct facial features. You would suspect, honestly, that he might be mixed race.
Okay.
Because he's got very the eyes and kind of the cheekbones, but his hair is much fairer, and so is his skin.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but is the creek did Maven Estra say that the creek, the natural spring or whatever, was part of their farm, or that was we could just fill the barrels? Did she happen to say that?
Or is it we can just get that from the thing, right?
Yeah, you can just get it. You see, actually, Tuya, she's not entering the farm. She's got the animals up at the banks, and they're getting watered.
So I think I would just kind of look over Tyrone and Zwenya, and I think we should see if we can find Brahm. And Tyrone, could you have your
Oh, let me get a couple tokens. One second.
Yeah.
Could you have
I'll
Liam
organize my
and
workers.
start filling the barrels while we go make this this deal.
See if I have any. One moment, please.
Yeah. Just to try and be efficient so we can make our way back,
All right. So we got Liam. What do we got over here? Do I have any little redneck Jebediah? Let me see. If not, we'll just. That guy's way too handsome. What the hell?
pull up MS Paint, black out a tooth, and
Add some
scraggly.
freckles.
Yeah,
There we
Put
go.
a straw in his mouth.
We'll call that Kale.
there we go.
All right. Yeah, I'll organize my my two guys to fill the barrels. If we have rope and wood, I'll make it so that we can dip the barrel with like maybe a piece of wood underneath with rope on the piece of wood so we can pull them in and out of the water like more easily.
You definitely find that. That would
I make them do the brunt of the work. Like I supervise this shit.
Like government.
you're
work.
muted, Val.
Just hold the rope like I got it, guys. I'll make sure that the rope doesn't fly away, guys.
Hey, he
Hold it up here.
orchestrated thing. That's half the battle.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, Liam and Kale, they
middleman.
follow you no matter what. And in fact, oftentimes you kind of see them look to you to defer to things. Like if they're unsure, they just kind of that dumb look where like, what do we do next,
loving
boss?
this. That's great.
Liam,
Perfect.
like,
I love these
uh,
guys.
Yeah, they're hard workers. They don't take things seriously. They're a bit of slackers, but you tell them to do something, they'll get it done. Yeah, you
Liam
see,
looks like he said, the Appalachian Mountains, dude. He literally just left to get here.
yeah, look at the. We got,
Liam literally, like he literally just
Oh,
chopped out a
Liam.
tree before he got here.
yeah, look at that unibrow.
He's like, man, axe over his shoulder, like fucking Paul Bunyan, dude. Look at
Yeah.
him.
Right?
He's
That's a
the
man, dude.
stocky one. He's a little shorter, but he's
That's
yeah.
a man right there, dude. That's a man, dude. Oh,
His
wait.
unibrow's doing half the lifting.
Right.
But yeah, they're
Plus
getting
two
to it.
unibrow.
They are definitely getting to it. And they make with your plan, they fill that up almost instantly. It doesn't take much time at all.
Perfect. While they're doing that, I think I would, see Zawenya should start kind of walking into the farm
Yes.
looking for.
And she turns to you and says, Sambo know how.
What about my mother?
She said, how are you?
Oh, again, elongate the O.
Sambo know how.
Getting
There you
better.
go.
Getting better. There we go.
And listen, I went to this place called the Rye in South working on education, she says. But yeah, we go talk to the people. Or go up there.
I will say you're a fairly quick learner, which is good. And just
I
I
was always
just
good for letters and numbers.
start kind of walking our way in, being very blatant to try to get just someone's attention so they know we're not dangerous. We're not trying to like attack or anything like that.
Oh, they saw you guys miles out.
I'm gonna
As
assume-
you approached, yeah, most of them put their you see this man here. This dirty old peasant. He's standing kind of leaned over. This other man here.
That first
Another
image, all I heard in my head when that image came up was the guy from Scary Movie. No, take my good hand.
My strong.
Oh,
hand."
yeah. They look from that they look like that family from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah,
Hey,
these guys look a
Like-
little inbred.
Yeah,
this
like
one
the-
here looks
a
the
like-
little.
The hills have eyes right here, bro.
Oh fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
We've got this man over here. He just looks like a classic
This,
farmhand.
100% fuck this sister at least once.
Oh yeah.
At least once.
You see
This
this
guy
old
twice.
man here. He's like, I'm too old for this shit. He's holding his
He's
back.
old to be inbred too.
Hey, Murtaugh.
And you see this man, he's tapping out a pipe. You see the embers kind of fall out onto the ground where he
It looks
crushes them.
normal.
That's the
least
boss.
inbred.
That's the
Um,
boss. He's the
Yeah.
He's the least inbred.
Symbol of
Uh,
power. He's got a pipe.
He's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not inbred, guys. I'm the
after a
boss.
while, yeah, they meet you kind of at the bridge here.
Okay.
They kind of run up towards you. This boy behind him, he's got a toy pipe. It looks just like a old corncob pipe. You suspect that that might be his son, but he definitely has the look of a northerner. The picture doesn't do it justice. He looks like
Yeah.
a fucking Oliver Twist.
Yeah,
He
but
does.
Yeah.
Tiny Tim, like Tiny Tim. Came,
Tiny
like,
Tim.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
But he definitely looks swirly. Let's just say that he's yeah.
So the Wingy says, Sabu no ha.
He looks to the northerner and then looks back to her and he's like
She's trying to
northern
learn.
it needs some work.
Sabu.
but
Sabu no
but-
ha.
I speak the trade tongue.
Oh, okay. Well, I do too as well. Zawanya, nice to meet you.
Good. Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to work on that. You see this man, he definitely looks like he's from the West. Although he speaks the trade tongue is kind of like the common of the world, right? And he's definitely got a Western accent, the way he shapes the vowels and that sort of thing. But he speaks it well enough. He's like, my name's Brom Hammerstead. Pleased to meet you. What can we do for you? I see a couple. You are watering your animals. That's good.
We are here to buy some grain and some food for our caravan traveling through the valley.
We're with
Oh,
the
is that
we're with
so?
the Ebon Hawk. We are with the Ebon Hawk. Minerva sent us to come speak with
The
you.
Ebon Hawk is the adventure guild. We're not with the Ebon Hawk, are we? We're the thing, right? Isn't that
You
different?
guys are, yeah, you're just part of the expedition. You're definitely, but Maven Estra is part of the Ebon Hawk.
Which is what she told me to.
Oh. Okay, well then yes, and I'll say, yes, we're part of the Ebon Hawk. We are part of the Adventurers Guild, and we need sustenance for our crew. We heard that you're fine people that can give us a decent wage and a decent price for this grain, so we can feed our people to get through the fort camp.
Little feed for the animals on the way through the pass. I think specifically some greens for the men.
He grins as very casually pulls out a pouch and pulls tobacco into the pipe and he just packs it. And he's got it in his mouth now and kind of talking from the side as he got it in his mouth. He's like, oh, the Ebon Hawk. He looks at standards must have lowered in recent years.
They have enacted a new diversity program.
If you told me you look like a couple of caravan hands. And he looks at the state that you guys are in. Even though Zawinia probably takes care of herself, she looks
Not very
fucking
well.
rough.
I look rough. Literally.
They don't have any amenities. Like
yeah, I look rough. I mean rough.
this stream's the closest you've been to water, to a bath in a little while.
Yeah.
I was gonna use this as an opportunity to bathe. Actually, I was gonna tell my guys, clean yourselves when you're done. You know,
the frozen. The water's half frozen. It looks.
Oh,
like.
it's not. No, the weather's fine enough for them to have some crops here. The water, it is running. It's we established it. It's the low tide, so
Yep.
So it's fine. But yeah, you would actually see probably Kale's country ass already butt naked in the water after swimming, slacking off.
Hey boys, the water's fine. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably one of the few times that she has to be able to actually bathe like in actual stream before heading out.
Wash your clothes potentially. It's
yes.
Yeah. You guys haven't seen much natural water resources here. The mountain you may find some, but
yeah, little.
You never know.
Yeah.
It's hard to
trickle of a glacier, upper glacier melting off or something.
Yeah, we gotta cut the. I mean, if you gotta heat up water. You gotta cut a block out of snow, and heat it up.
Yeah. But Brahmi's like you look like a couple hands to me. That's fine. We have feed. Were you looking for some food too?
Yes, we are.
I have horses. Do you need any horses?
No, we are here specifically for feed and drink. Um, and also any other kind of food amenities you have to sell. We might be interested in that as well, depending on what you have available.
Mm-hmm. He strikes a match, lights this thing up. Though I don't even know if matches exist, but they do now.
They do.
For flavor.
They do.
Lights this thing up, and he looks over and he's like, "Okay, well, let me see what we can get up. We've got some food stores. Are you looking for dry food or fresh food?
Stuff that'll keep. So
How
dry
long?
food.
How long a journey are you thinking?
Preferably dry, because things can go wrong.
At least 3-4 days worth, I believe, is what Maven Estra had spoke to me about.
3-4 days. How big is your company?
Oh, we
Over
established that it was like when it was
about
100, about 60. Wasn't it like 68 or something like that? 7.
Yeah, it wasn't 100 quite. It was about, we'll call it 70. Keep it
Yep.
easy number.
Okay. I would say 100 because it's better to have more and have food than to say less and not have food. Seeing people hungry, especially bread and stuff like that, yeah, she would say about 100.
100, big group,
Mm-hmm.
big expedition. Can I ask
Yeah.
what your business is over the mountain?
Well, we're trying to resupply. Being said, you've asked a question. Would you mind if I ask you a question, Monsieur?
Sure.
She says, what kind of dry foods do you have available, and what is your best price that you can offer for a friend of yours on bulk?
Friend. He looks around. I don't see any friends here, but I do see business opportunities.
She smells.
Give me a second. I need to speak with the house and see what we have. I don't have inventory on the top of my head. Give me just some time. You sit there. He notices by his side an older woman. Her hand has kind of been placed on his shoulder. He's like, "Oh, Imelda, perfect timing. Can you show these guests in? Get them near the fire. Get them something warm to drink. While I go and see what we have on offer." And she nods. Doesn't say much. She's mostly toothless. You see one tooth barely hanging on for dear life.
She bows and says, Simbu no how.
She looks to Brahm, just like, and he just shakes his head. Like,
Yeah,
she's trying.
try.
But Imelda will usher you guys in. These two guys, as they see them walk back towards the house, they kind of jump into action. They were not working at all. And they, oh, back to work. Goofy little farm hands out there. But after some time, you guys get settled. Imelda sits you down. The cottage it's poor. I mean, it's wood floors, at least, mostly stone building. It doesn't have this style of roofing. It'd probably have a thatched roof. But she'll sit you guys down, bring some tea, and leave you be. After some time, Brahm comes back. He's like, he'll tap out his pipe into the fire. He says, "All right, I've got potatoes." One second. I've got about 10 pounds of potatoes, 30 pounds onions, I've got 50 pounds of oats, 20 and 50 pounds of barley. Is there food prices In the
Yes,
in,
yeah,
okay.
it is. It's in there.
let me look this up real quick.
I'm going to cross reference some stuff here.
Yeah, because I don't.
Yeah, it's all in there. It has like the including the feed prices too.
Tools and gear. Let's see.
It's down actually in food.
Food.
Oh, here we go.
So
Cool.
Yep.
Let's see what I can equate this to.
Well, I mean, the onions is there. Grain would probably be the barley
Yeah.
and the oats, really.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
all of it.
animal feed also for the animals.
Yeah. I like how it's 1 day for how many animals?
Yeah.
And just
I
for
guess
one
it's
animal.
per
Probably
animal.
one
Yeah.
animal for 1 day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Can you imagine trying to?
Christ, a horse, man, eats a lot, right?
Yeah, no
So-
kidding.
And
Yeah.
feed
Okay.
is like general. So feed for a chicken and a horse right now is kind of the same thing, but we'd have to differentiate it.
Yeah, because
Okay. Let me collapse all these together just to make it simple. One
Okay.
moment. So grain, it's 8 gallons. Why is it in gallons?
it's-
1
it-
bushel.
yeah, well,
8.
yeah, I guess bushels make sense, I guess, but I guess they measure it in jugs, I guess. That's
Isn't
something.
gallons like
It's because you
I guess
can't carry a
one?
bushel of. I mean, because a person can't carry a bushel of oats, right? That's too much weight, right? How much is a bushel?
I imagine
Why
they're just
would you
not
need a
rolled.
bushel? You
Yeah.
just keep the grain, right?
Yeah,
Right.
The plant is useless.
that's true. Why is it in bushels? I have no idea. I'm just going to use that price as a guide. So we got
Well, for whatever reason, when you a bushel, like a U.S. bushel, is actually
is it actual?
it's an actual measure. It's equated to about 9 liquid
Oh,
gallons.
it's one of those weird
Yeah,
imperial
that's-
measurements.
Yeah.
That's
Fuck
like,
you
what
guys.
are everybody talking?
We don't
What y'all
even
talking
know.
about? I was like, yeah, like that's a form of measurement.
Yeah.
That's
I was
so
so confused.
arbitrary.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, it
yeah,
probably
what?
was. It was probably
It
like whatever
was.
carrying
Well,
vessel
yeah.
at the
No,
time.
I think it started with like wheat. I think it started as a wheat measurement because it was basically 60 pounds.
And that's what I was saying. Like, no one's carrying around a actual bushel of grain. That's a lot. Just fucking just
60 pounds. It's 60 pounds.
No, I mean like just like adventuring, right? That's what like it is. Like,
Well, yeah, no, you're not gonna just
Unless you're
throw
Eating a-
60 pounds of grain into a backpack. Like, here we go.
All right, guys, I'm battling,
That's
guys.
a tough carry, man.
Yeah, that's
so
like
if it's 60, we'll call it 3 bushels.
Okay.
3 bushels. Onions. What does it say?
And we brought only one cart. It's gonna be filled with almost just the water, no?
Well, we got Liam and Kale to carry the water.
They can stack. It'd be able to fit. You can stack them.
On top, yeah, tied down.
Yeah,
Alright.
you guys are going slow. I mean, and then was there potatoes on here?
I didn't see potatoes specifically.
We'll call it all onions,
Onions,
as far
yeah,
as
it's
like
onions, yeah, same.
I
whatever
guess it's
root
pretty
veggies.
similar.
Yeah.
Root
It
vegetables.
grows kind of the same.
Yeah, potatoes are vegetables, right? Or they fruit.
And at some point when he was gone searching, I will just reiterate to Zawenya just so she remembers, or just so she knows. Mevanestra did ask specifically for something green, some greens for the men. I don't know if that means lettuce or onion but she asked for something greens for the men.
He's like, we kind of need that. It's going to be expensive. We can. I can get you some heads of cabbage. All right. We'll just call it cabbage. Same freaking thing. So, for this, he's basically going to offer above market price.
Yeah.
So, like 2 more coppers for above market price for this.
So
If
what?
Let me go ahead.
if we're done with the water, I'm gonna saunter in, and I want to propose my 2 helpful guys. If we can spend an hour and the guy needs any work done, we can negotiate prices with some labor.
Mm.
All right. I would turn and say, yes. So, Simo, how we have some able laborers here while you gather these supplies. Maybe we could help maybe do some barn or yard work, not yard work, barn or
Fix some stuff or whatever.
labor, whatever, things like that. In exchange for a much more charitable price. Friends helping friends, as they say, right?
I mean, let's face it, the Eben Ox are gonna pass here often. We want to establish good relationships.
Yep,
And
I know.
we're
I know
friends,
them
right?
well. That's true. I do know them well. Well, let's say I think these are 4 coppers each, so 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. We call
Yeah,
it 6.
I'm gonna ask, did you want to retcon then, now that you've seen the prices, how much copper she actually handed me?
No, she gave you that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, it might be think of it might be a test too. This is solo mission.
And
Can-
it's solo.
can you be trusted?
Hey.
No, I just
Oh,
asked because I
numbers.
know you had kind of said like is there actual
250?
prices, so
Yeah.
like all of a
Yeah.
sudden they were going like, okay, 4 it's like, you know, gonna be under, you know, gonna be like 50 copper total when it's all said and done. So
Give you a big old bag.
Yeah.
We'll see. See, I mean, temptation
you-
there.
Give you a rope and see how.
Well,
see
you're not
See
a
it?
charlatan, but
Yeah.
I would lie if I had that fucking money.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was 100. It was
Man,
100. There you go.
They
Here's what's
wrecked us
left.
on the price. Yeah.
I couldn't negotiate it.
well,
Sorry.
the funny thing is I in terms of in character, you guys don't even know how much she gave me in the first place. So.
Yeah.
No, we have no idea how much money you
Yeah.
have. Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to make good figure here
Yeah.
and be useful and be recognized.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything else.
Brahm, he's like, it's good thinking. Well, I tell you what, help Ulysses out. He's got some lumber he needs to chop for an hour's worth of work. We'll call it market price. How's about that?
Sounds great.
Because a market price does sound good. If also as well too, on the way back, we can also resupply you as well too for any goods from the forward camp. So if you give us a better price here on this, then we can give you a better price on any goods we coming back from the forward camp.
Make
Maybe-
an intelligence check here. Let's see.
Got to wheel and deal a little bit. I am a trader.
a
I'm a
good
man on
idea.
this.
As a merchant, go ahead and do that with advantage.
There we go. Here we go. Hey!
He's like,
Woo!
I have a family to
Zero,
feed.
1 and 2.
Hey, can I use
as good as that
inspiration on
sound-
that?
No, that
That's
would
good.
only give you advantage anyway.
No, that's all good.
He shakes, he just looks down, he's like, sorry, I can't survive off credit. Credit doesn't feed my children.
She says, Sambu, no way. I understand.
It's like, and plus, if you're going over the mountain, just be wary. There are many dangers there. And I know, although there's expeditions going to and from all the time, many people don't make it.
Well, I
He
mean,
just doesn't expect us to make it back.
us really. No, man. He says, well, I have good help here. She points to Liam and Cal, probably picking boogers out. They can protect me and the rest of the squad any investments. But I understand when we come back, I will still, in good faith of a good agreement, give you a fair price. This is water under the bridge.
Right. He's like, okay, well, what is your name? I don't think we've been properly introduced. I am
I
Brahm.
am Zawinia.
Linya.
Chiminubatu, which is I think something her name, like
He
90% positive.
he nods. He's like, we have to be careful about you. You do strike a hard bargain, but I wish
But
I could help.
fair.
It is fair. That is true. But I need a little bit more than fair these days. It's been hard times.
Why has it been hard times?
As the words leave her mouth, these knuckleheads over here who kind of meeting with Ulysses, who's this worker over here, you hear a yell. there is sounds coming from outside of the house. And suddenly you hear the guttural, deep voices just gnashing as these beast-like creatures with horns. They have the faces of kind of a mix between like a pig and a wolf. They are savages. Many of them are naked from the top up. They have hooves for feet, some of them claws. They're not uniform in any way. They seem just like abominations. And an even larger one, massive, nearly 10 or 12 feet tall. He's leaning, basically pushed a tree aside where it's bending as he walks and emerges. Kale is the one who's
Oh,
yelling.
he thought the game over. GG, back him up. Back it up.
But they have this deep gnashing sound, just brutal. And we go into combat. Somebody give me the D6.
Woo!
Fuck.
Listen, you know, I'll do it. I haven't actually rolled one of these before.
So
Yeah.
basically 6 Trollocs and a Minotaur.
There you go.
Yes.
3, 2. Hey, it looks
Hey,
like
as
normal
usual,
guy. As
you do
usual.
not have the first initiative.
Hey, Tyrone Power. Any last words she yells out? She sees a fucking Minotaur come down from the heavens.
Oh my god.
So,
he's
did
game
we
over,
get-
man.
Did we get out of the house like seeing this, or are we still inside the
You guys are right in here, so I would move.
inside, right? Okay. So it's like here-ish.
These guys are probably over here.
I look at Brom and say, let's get out of here, Scoobs.
Yeah. This creature runs up immediately and comes down on Kale. Give me a second. As an axe with a stone head comes down at him. He's dead. Immediately, this one chops him down. The axe,
my friend.
the axe is more like a blunt instrument as you see his shoulder crunch and buckle underneath it. It doesn't cut the skin, but he falls over in his windpipe. He's trying to gasp for breath, but yeah, it must have been torn. It's pretty nasty sight. Let me mark him. He is gone. Oh god. This one runs up here. Odds, Tyrone, evens, Ulysses. Comes in,
Ooh.
he swings an axe at him. 15 to hit. Jesus. Some high rolls. Yeah, he's also dead.
It's hard to miss someone with no armor though.
Yeah, that's true. His
You
head
have
gets
well over
buckled in.
50% chance to hit.
This man here. That hits too.
Jesus.
He survives. Liam, he shields himself. He takes the brunt of it, but his arm is messed up, but he's fine. This man here, or creature here, Tyrone, hold on to your butt.
Oh.
No. That's my AC. Oh, I'm dead.
Tyrone is
Oh.
gone.
It's
Oh,
so
man.
hard to say goodbye to
This man here.
yesterday.
He is alive. This man here. He's hella dead. Maybe another one. Oh no, he survived. What?
Kill
Survives
Survivor.
Survives a crit. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he gets. You see
Damn.
this axe come, hits his arm. He buckles to a knee. He double taps him, and he still won't go down. And this creature here does not act, and he lets out a huge roar as he stands watching the carnage unfold. You see his face very expressive. His eyes are darting as if it's looking for something, snorting and breathing heavily. But it goes to you guys. What the hell do you do?
Zwinga looks at Gorm and says, well, above to really. So you know that whole Dukes of Hazzard thing when they leave and then like it cuts to like a little segment like those boys are fast and stuff like that. So that's what Zwinga is basically saying to Gorm.
You slide across the hood of the car.
Slide
Yeah.
across the hood of the car. Let's get out here, boys. She says, do we see these horses here as well?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Is there any windows this direction in the other house?
This house has no windows. It's all
Okay. I said, Gorm, there were horses behind this house. We're gonna have to commandeer one and get the fuck out of here.
He's like, you're gonna leave my family to die?
You said we're not friends, right? So yeah.
What are these things?
They're beast men.
Well, we don't. You said there's no window, so we haven't even actually seen
Yeah.
what's going on.
That's
We're just
true.
hearing.
Honestly,
We're just hearing the carnage, right?
Yeah, and hearing this, Zwinga is 110 pounds, a
He
traitor.
says, fuck
I don't care
I'm out.
what it is. If it sounds like a thing, she is not fighting. 100%. He says, "Go." I advise you to do the same.
I'm gonna just because if he's kind of standing at the door, just sort of try to push my way out here just to get a look as he's kind of running out. What are these things? Using just kind of as he's seeing it because this looks like a fucking shit show.
Yeah, Brahm peeks his head out and he's like, they are called Kelikgar, which roughly translates as beastmen. The hell are they doing so far down the mountain? Right. You see Brahm, he goes and underneath the chair, he pulls out a sword and he gets ready. The sword is man, he's been hiding this thing, and it's actually pretty nice.
Yeah. Hold on, sorry. Hold on.
Zawini is like, now fuck this. He's like, well, gotta bust out old Yeller.
Hey, my granddad gave me this. Is my granddaddy's sword, right? It's my granddad's sword. But she says to go out to Gorm. I'm going home. I advise you to do the same. Either lost costs. You're gonna die here.
So walking out and seeing this guy on his knees, Tyrone, Ulysses, and Kale dead.
Mhm.
Liam fucked up.
Mhm.
That's a lot of carnage real quick. Yeah, we'll keep sort of running back this way around the side of the house.
I'm gonna move here. That's 40 feet here. I'm gonna action to mount the horse. I'm gonna hop on this horse.
I'd have to dash to get there, so I wouldn't even be able to get on one.
The horse is tied up. You can mount on him. He's certainly tied up.
All right. Okay. Well, then I wouldn't mount it. If it's tied up, can I use an action to try? Can I have a dagger to cut some of the mounts, cut some of the straps from this?
Yeah,
horse?
you can easy. Yeah, action.
Right, so,
no skill check required. Cut.
Yeah. Action. I'm cutting. Sing. And then I drop my dagger and says, "Hey, grab that dagger and unhook a horse. And we'll see if we can save anybody. But I'm not a hero. I'm not trying to be. I like to live. That's for her. Yeah.
Being that many creatures, that makes him nervous too. Look, cause he's like,
Yeah, man.
I don't got that many hit points.
None of those dude, we're level 1. This is some scary shit, dude.
Maybe getting to Tuya might be able to get something done from there.
Tuya's one person. It's like 9 dudes. She says
with a
like
shitload of other animals that
she don't know Tuya. She don't know her people. She don't know her family. Nothing like that.
Pick up the dagger that Zwenya dropped, and we'll I guess is picking it up a is that just like an interaction, or is it's an interaction to pick the dagger
there's
up,
no
right?
interaction.
Yeah.
You just
So
gotta
action to pick the dagger up, and then that's it. That's everything he's got.
Right. You guys are preparing your getaway. You see Brahm, he had grabbed the sword and he's moving out. Imelda, her old asses do nothing. She's hiding immediately. Liam, he's
What
messed
is he
up.
gonna do all by himself, that old man? What the
Wanna
fuck,
fuck
man?
with me? Wanna fuck with my shit? Ping
Liam,
Kong.
Holy
Liam
shit.
holding the axe in his hand, kind of seeing what's going on. He's a bit dazed, but he swings. Someone give me a 3d6. This is going to be his strength score. I have no modifiers for this man. Hopefully. Oh,
Damn!
+4.
Liam's
Damn.
thick. This is a 1d20 +4. He was the stout one. That makes sense.
Bring it home to you, Bass.
That hits. And this axe is a 1d. What's the axe? 8?
8.
Yep.
Boom, home run. You see Liam kind of shouldering his wound. He gets up, breathes, he looks around, and that sharp soberness of fear, the adrenaline cutting through, he hyper focuses and drops the axe on this thing's head. It buckles and crunches underneath, and it falls immediately. And he finds himself, he falls back as far as he can.
Kill my fucking brother, bitch. Bop. Drop them.
This man here, he's got a pitchfork in hand. He's on his butt looking at this thing screaming, but someone give me a 3d6. Let's see
Jay,
if he's got that
Jay,
farmhand
bring it home
strength.
to you, Bass.
2.
No, not bad. He's got +2. With his +2, he's gonna try to hit him with the pitchfork. That hits. Is there a pole? I guess is it 1d8 as well? The pole arm.
It's
Is it two-handed?
Should be like a
It's
spear.
two-handed.
If it's two-handed, it's a D12.
No, yeah, it's definitely
It's two-handed.
two-handed weapon.
It doesn't have reach, but it's two-handed.
That kills it too. As this thing hits him, he falls to the ground and it's over top him, snapping its jaws. You see the saliva falling on him. He freaks out, thrusts it up, and it cuts straight through its body and it falls dead. He like crawls backwards to get to his feet, hops over this fence, and he's trying to make as much distance as he can. He passes his friend. He's like, get the fuck out of here. This man, seeing him run, also does the same. He's like, we can fall back to the bridge.
No, the bridge. Fall back out of this country. This place is dangerous.
He's double dashing. The little boy here, he's got a sling.
Patty Tim, bring it home.
Yeah.
Patty Tim.
Gonna have to get. You see him kind of run over to the fence. He's got a 0. This is straight 20. Let's see. Nope, misses.
Nope.
You see the rock go far, but the arch, it just lands in the dirt short. But he also falls back because he's not a fool. This old man, Jameis, he's fucking fuck this shit. I'm out. Actually, no.
Police Navi.
He calls for his wife. A little bit of drama. He calls for his wife. He's like, Imelda, come outside. Where are you? And he moves closer to find his dearly
She's
beloved.
not going to be in the sequel either.
Yeah.
That's game over.
That's the end of that round.
Mark, give us a D6.
Mark.
Come on. For the homeland.
All right.
For our people.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
Let's fucking go. All right. So
That
is
never happens. We want initiative.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna turn to Gorm and say, all right, hop on. So what is the action to hop on the mount?
Yeah, just stop. We're gonna have to talk about some mountain combat because there is some stuff. So I think we need to have a design session. Let's see
All
what
right.
this is like.
Yeah, I would say so. So is it an action or is it just like 5 feet of movement to get up onto the horse?
I mean,
How do you want to call it for now?
I'm gonna say action to mount for now, but you can immediately use the movement of the horse, right? You still have your movement. So I'll say that we may have to revisit what that's like.
Oh, that sounds like let's write that down. All right. So how fast are horses moving? Like 60, right?
Yeah, I'd call it 60. I don't think there's anything in the game, but 60 makes sense to me.
I think I forget. Yeah. All right. So Dearth 4 is this way, correct?
Let me set this up. You should be able to control that.
There's
Where
forest
where are
this
you
way,
pinging?
right?
Down, way down at the bottom.
No, you guys came up from the north side.
Right,
Is
but-
there forest here? Like,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Not really. It's open area. It's mostly cleared for a
Okay.
while. There's some rolling hills, that sort of thing in this area.
100% going that way, dude. I say, yeah! And I'm like a pony in this motherfucker. Like, literally, just, 60. Here we go. Okay. 60.
Shameful. You better be looping around. Tuya's got a whole bunch of animals. Can't move in a
I'll
hurry.
do what I can. But shit. Listen. My story is getting told. She says, Zawina is her shit. And she says the Gorm. We'll loop. We'll do a big loop and see if we can save anybody. Maybe two of the people here. But I'm not risking my neck fighting these damn beast things. I'm good. I like life.
I'm a chef. I cook.
I do taxes.
But yes,
I'm not-
so let's at least try to loop around and notify Tuya, because those things come after the animals. That's a whole lot of food that could be gone for the rest of the caravan.
And she says, I'll see this as an opportunity, right? If these people die, who's going to run their farm?
Yeah, you really want to live there?
Oh, no, I just want to get all the resources from there, she would say.
Oh.
And leave it there. Because the band's going to take it anyway. So we was for the greater cause of Evan Hawk in our forward camp. Of course, that's a lot of
Oh.
Yes, that's true.
We will do this since Liam was your basically your follower. You can take over Liam.
Oh,
You
sure.
can roll up stats. You get that. You get that +4 strength. You can roll
There
up
you
the
go.
rest of the stuff
Mark, that's
later.
you.
All right.
I think that's the only relevant thing. Here, I'll give you a character
Well,
sheet we can set up.
Did you?
I know you already
officially
have
roll
another
it-
one.
Say, did you officially roll him
Yeah,
a
we can.
D8 for HP?
You want to do that now? He's taking
Oh
3
yeah,
damage.
he got hit, so he had to have more.
I was
than three.
averaging. Yeah, I was averaging. So for 4 anyway.
Okay.
So-
Oh, that would be.
Oh
an
no,
eight.
there you
Oh,
go. He's
take
he's
the
extra
8.
stout.
Take the 8. He's got 5 more HP.
Extra stout. Liam's built different.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's a
So he's
shit
built different.
shit brick house, dude.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
is
can
Liam dashing?
yeah, so
Uh,
this man is not. We'll it's all happening at the same time. This man walks forward expertly. There's a +8 to this.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that hits.
you can go
Is that a
fucking fight
crit?
these things that
That is 100% a crit. This
let's
does
go.
this is a sword, so we'll do 2d8. Oops, let me re-roll. Oh yeah, he cuts this thing down instantly. The sword, it is iron, and it's of an older style, almost looks like a cutlass. But he just steps in and stabs this thing right into its chest.
I turn to Liam and say, Liam, if you're coming, this ride leaves in 30 seconds.
And he falls back and he
Did he
looks
play
to the
his
man.
turn already?
No.
no
No, Liam.
Oh,
Yeah,
new
he
round.
did his turn.
new round.
Okay. So what's the distance? 40 long. He'll have to do 2 move actions
Just dash.
because he has to take his own horse, right?
No. Oh, well, yeah. I'm not sure.
We can't ride
No.
3 on a horse.
Yeah,
like,
No,
No.
well, no, yeah.
that's
Not
too
him,
much.
That horse buck one of you off said, "Fuck this."
That's. Yes, yeah.
All of you off actually.
No, yeah. Dude. All right.
Cool. Liam, after getting first blood, or yeah, he got first blood,
First blood.
falls back. This man here, he gets shoulder to shoulder with Brahm, and he's got his hoe wielded over his head, ready for action. This boy says, "They need to get off my farm." He also readies his sling.
This is America.
And surprisingly, you see Tuya. She's got her bow and she's got her dog. She's running in. She kind of gets into this area to see the commotion. Because this man back here, he's fucking gone. He said, "Bye." He's running. He's running
City
past the
boy!
animals.
City
So,
boys!
you can imagine a
Rolling.
scene where this man, he's running. This man's, I mean, look at him. You know he's running. She sees it. She's alerted. She runs in the opposite direction to kind of see what's going on. As she falls here, she that basically had a dash, but she's got her bow ready, and the doggo here is much faster. Gets over here. Jameson finds his wife, and they both hide in a cupboard.
Oh, they're definitely dead.
And I think that's the end of that round. So the beast, there's not many left. This beast comes up here.
Except for the big ass one.
Yeah. This beast comes up here with its axe. 10 hits.
Big damage.
Damage, but he does not go down.
Oh, he's
You
thicker
see-
than-
Yeah, you see the axe with the stone head come up. He goes to deflect it with his saber, but it doesn't shield the full impact. It definitely glances off from like a vital point on his skull. But
Man.
yeah, that looked like it hurt.
I think like King Bradley over here, dude.
Yeah, this one comes up here, same thing. Misses. And this one looks at this man with his pitchfork, blood in its eyes. It's got a red ring around its eyes as if it's like hot wires holding back a savage animal. And this thing is just snarling at him. Yeah, that hits. That does not kill. He is maimed at this point. The thing hits him in his knee and he is down 1 HP in a dream. And the big one remains there as well. And it does nothing.
Did
Roll up.
Did we see Toya like coming across the bridge as we were hooking around this way, or no? Is this like down? Is it a hill where it's down underneath the farm, or?
Maybe. I don't know if you guys were looking for her. Let's do this 1D100 to see if you're looking out for her.
Marking the funky bunch. Call it
High or low?
Always high. Oh,
98.
nice. 98.
Now give me a perception check. It would be either Gorm or Zuinia, since they're kind of the ones.
That's
She's
back
not.
here.
She's not looking back. She'd be going. She's
that's a wisdom.
Yeah, give me a wisdom. Perception. Yeah, wisdom.
7.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, your eyes are on the
Sorta
road.
Tucked in.
Yeah, exactly. This horse has no saddle on it, so you're like clinging to its mane. I'm assuming you're up front. If you're not, you're. Nope, no such luck. But we are at the top of the round. Let's get a D6.
All right, Jay, you or me?
You don't roll these that often. Go for it, man.
I was on time actually, but I will take one. Hey.
Nice.
Again, wow.
Hey.
Unusual.
Can the horse dash for 120 feet or no?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Double movement.
Yeah, step on it towards the opposite side of the bridge. Loop around.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna do that. She keeps
we'll-
going.
We'll Pac-Man it as you guys go.
Yeah,
Wait
I
a
just
second.
don't. Is it like? I mean, I'm assuming the horse can like cross. I don't know how.
It's
deep
going to
the
be more
water
than
is, but-
120 feet. We'll say.
Yeah, it's gonna be like several rounds. There's a big loop.
It'll be one more round dashing. I'd say.
Okay.
To get around.
I'm gonna
You'd
use
be
the
able
axe
to.
and cut
You'd
the
be able to
horse.
find a place where it's a little bit. You'd have to cross the river essentially.
Yeah.
All right. You cut
Okay.
the horse. It is free.
Yeah, I cut it loose and I get on it, so that's 2 actions.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as soon as you mount it, you just have its movement. Brom Hammerstead, he's doing Brom shit. Yeah, that hits. That's a crit.
You go kill those guys, dude.
Yeah, he's dead. This is his
Damn.
farm. This man is dead. Or this beast creature. This guy here, he's got a 1d20 plus 1. Or no, did we say 2 for the pike
2.
wielder?
Yeah, 2.
It's that. Ooh, okay. That kills this one. These guys are pretty squishy. And
Scary as shit looking though.
yeah, they're Jeb, he fires off his sling. That hits.
Woo.
This one hits the one in front of his father. It is not dead. Tuya fires. That hits. It goes down.
I just imagine this arrow right next to his ear. Right into the thing's face.
Yeah, it hits him right in the neck. And it clutches it and makes a gurgling, gnashing sound as it falls. I think that's your guys' turn. The dog is just ready just to jump on something.
D6, right?
No, it's their
No,
turn.
it's
They're gonna
it's the big guy's turn.
Yep. Finally seeing everybody slaughtered in this way, it runs forward right at Brahm. This thing attempts to gore him. Let's see. Yeah, that gores him. Oh my god, he's got literally 1 HP. You see this creature come forward and it gores him. One of the horns locked into his shoulder. You see it pierce all the way through, and he gets rushed and basically pinned against this. The thing tries to pull its head up, but the horn has stuck under the top rung of this fence here. But he is pinned. Basically, he's prone. He is in a bad way. That ends his turn. Let's get a
Out.
D6.
I guess
Yay.
I'll roll
New
one, see if
initiative.
this guy's gonna die or not. Oh, it's
Oh
us.
my god, we're on fire.
Man.
But never the first round. Like,
Damn.
Like first round we missed, but after that we usually win it pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for us with the horse, it's dead dashing to see it get to the point where see if we can find Tuya. Just I'm snapping the reins trying to get up to that side of where the herd would be.
Old boy over here is running past you guys as you
As we come
God.
flying back up like towards the bridge this way.
Yeah, I imagine just you guys at a full gallop.
Yeah.
Just the mane whipping back. You guys are low to its body, just flying as quickly as you can here. Tuya, she'll take another shot. She hits the big guy. He's got thick hide. Let's see. And it's negligible damage. As this thing hits him. Whoops. Brahm.
He's pinned. He can't go anywhere, right?
Yeah, he's stuck. He's fighting for his life. That's a crit.
Jams the sword into its side.
Yeah. He jams it into its thigh, but this thick skin seems to absorb some of the damage. But he's struggling for his life. He's barely hanging on. The man next to him, he's just going to come in with his pike. That hits. That hurts. Try to make this quick. Jeb, he's like, get off my father. No, daddy, no. Hits him with the sling. That hits. Ooh, that cracks him.
Damn.
You see it get his attention. It, the stone hits him right in the snout. And it he pulls back, and his father is no longer pinned as the horn rips upwards out of his body, and his arm is mostly maimed at this point. But he looks up and he looks down at the little guy, nostrils flaring. Finally, the husky runs in.
Can't wait to see what this thing does.
18 to hit. Hits.
Ooh.
Let me check something.
Bites him right in the ass.
Not quite. He doesn't have his ability go off, so it's 1d6. Negligible damage. He bites him, doesn't get full purchase. Snaps there. These two
All right,
people.
so you don't have any horse riding mechanic, but I want to know if I can do a drive-by on this guy.
Yeah,
Riding the horse and swinging, but not stopping necessarily.
yeah. There's no op attack, so 100%. You just use your action
right.
attack, and movement is the horse's movement.
So I'm gonna do that.
Hell yeah.
I can't move the horse token, but I imagine I
Oh.
would end up somewhere around.
How about now?
All right, that's great. So the horse is 60 at full move.
Yes.
Can the horse do 2 move action and I do an action? Would that
You know,
work?
let's say yes, because I like how that works in 5e. So we'll do that.
All right. So I'll do the run and end up behind him. And I'll swing by as I ride my horse.
So you would know running into that fenced area, the horse would have to jump.
It's a jump, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's why I don't want to do 2 fences.
yeah. So for the jump, I would say it would be your animal handling. So we'll call it wisdom to see if your riding skills are good.
Yeah, probably not, but I'm gonna take that chance because it looks cool.
Hell yeah.
No attribute was
go.
found.
10 works.
Well, it's
10 works.
10. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's not the graceful jump, but the horse sees it coming. It's a pretty low fence and hops over. You drive by. Let's see that attack. What kind of
Go
weapon
swing
does
with the
Liam have?
axe. Well, he has the wood axe.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't know. That's what he
Yeah.
had in his hand.
It's just
Why
a
does it
standard.
say no attribute? Am I the only one seeing that?
Yeah.
No, that's your, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Oh, it doesn't give a modifier, so it's +4, so that's actually 21.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know
hits.
why
That's
that
a
does
crit.
that.
That's a crit.
Awesome.
Let me double check. Oh, that's not a crit. I apologize for this guy.
Okay. It's all right. I forgive you. 'Cause you're such a nice
very,
guy.
very formal.
You just fucking killed me. It's okay. That is 7 damage. The wood
That
axe,
gets
which is a
through.
D8, right? That's
Yes.
what we said.
Heck yeah, this thing hits this thing. As you drive by, the wood axe hits him. It doesn't do as much damage as you think. It's thick high, but he definitely notices it. And its wounds are accumulating. You see it bleeding from multiple places where you hit, left a massive bruise. Even you can see it through its fur. It's deep and wounded. Anything else, guys? I think that's the rest of the NPCs.
That's
And
it.
yeah, I think that's everybody.
All right.
Now it's
He
their
looks
turn.
down. He looks down at this man.
Dog biting its ass.
It has an axe in its hand, a huge axe it wields over its head, and he drops it. Yeah, dead. You see it split straight down. This man's on the ground looking up, wounded. It just hits him right in the chest, and that ends his career. Mr. Brahm is done for. All right, let's roll that initiative.
Mark, you marking the fucking much?
Let's see. Somebody.
Let's go. Oh my god, yes, 6.
There we go.
Go again.
I would say for us out here, would at this point would we see Tuya coming up and around
Yeah.
next to the bridge?
At the top of this round, yeah, you see her. She's perched up behind that fence with her bow.
All right. I'd start kicking the horse back because I've seen her fight. Like, okay, if she's here, it's a little bit better, and start kicking the horse back down around this way, like in behind her, roughly over to there, give or take, because now I've seen her. And then from the back of the horse, can I try and chuck my spear at this thing?
Hell yeah. Thrown weapons are ranged. So
Yep,
yeah, I
it's
would just say
it's a
the same.
wisdom.
Yeah, let's go wisdom.
So I'll just roll. It's gonna say sling, but I'll just roll that. 2 hit.
Not
Yeah,
today.
nope.
You rolled a 2?
Whee! Yeah.
Yeah, that thing, it rattles uselessly
Yep.
into the cart over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hits the other guy. No.
That's why I'm a chef.
He's got to make a dex save.
He looks
Anybody
into
else?
his,
What are you doing?
I'm gonna do
I'll-
another ride by if I can do that.
Heck yeah. There's no op attacks.
Yeah. Where's my guy? All right. It does the same thing again. I rolled a 19, but it's +4, so it's 23.
Oh, weird.
I don't know why it doesn't add anything.
Let
It's
me
fucked
see the
up right
character
now.
sheet. Let's see. Oh, it's because I didn't. Here. It's because nothing's added. His strength is just a 10.
Oh, I didn't drive that because that's not the right token
Oh.
that's on the table. Also.
Yeah, here we go.
This token's not there right now.
That's right. Give me a second. I gave access to Liam. It's a blank sheet you can use for now.
Okay, I see him up there. That's right.
All right. It probably would. I made it. I'm like, probably help if I assigned it though. And then whatever other stuff you can go ahead and fill in. The physical
DM
attributes.
problems.
Yeah,
I
right.
rolled him earlier. I'll just put that in. But for the damage, is it a crit?
23. No, it's not.
Oh,
He's a
it's
little.
tough.
He's a little heftier.
It's 4 damage.
Okay. It is bloodied, but not down. You see Tuya, she gets a little closer. She fires. That hits. Minimal damage. Her doggo attacks. That hits. And he's more vicious, it seems, the closer he is with her. Oh shit. He kills it. You see, almost like a combined attack. Tuya hops over the fence. She draws the bow. It hits it. He kind of spins over to see where the damage came from. It was mostly an annoyance. And as it spun, the dog attacked at the exact same time, almost like it was planned, where it rips his femoral and this thing bleeds out onto the ground and succumbs to its wounds. Dead. There's a bit
Liam
of
is gonna go check on Tyrone right away because he's so concerned.
to loot his fucking body.
Tyrone, no, you were so amazing. I loved you so much. What happened to you?
My man. Yeah, Tyrone is, his eyes are wide open, cast far and away. But he is dead.
You were the best of us.
The dust settles, bodies strewn all over the place. You can see those the rows where they've hoed kind of the lines for the field. It's drenched in blood from these creatures as they soak out. Tuya, she gathers herself, patting the dog on its head as it returns. And after some time, the old folks come out. Jeb, it's a sad sight. You see him running, tears in his eyes, shouting for his father. He tells him to come back to him. Wake up, daddy. But he does not. And he's sobbing, that deep sob where he can't catch his breath. Is bent over, his small fist balled, and he's banging the ground, those frustrated tears. But after some time of sobbing and heavy breathing, Imelda takes the boy back inside the house where he falls asleep, definitely wary. And Jameis, this old man, I'll put a little name tag on him. I'll do the old lady too. Jameis comes out and he just leans against it and against the fence and he's just, thank you so much for the help. And he looks to Liam. I'm sorry. Just so tired.
It's all right. I'm sorry for you too.
I don't know how
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
look
make
at the other guys and I'm gonna say we can't leave them like this, right?
At Zawina?
Yeah, both of you guys. Like we
Oh.
can't leave them like this, right?
Steve looks around like, I don't know the custom of your place. How does this work?
Well, we should bury the dead at least.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Like their crops are ruined, right? There's too
Yeah.
much blood in the field.
And just from the battle, the horses coming through, this crop especially is
It's
just trampled. Whatever they had
Yeah,
growing
I
is
kind of
broken.
wrecked it.
Yeah. Well,
Whatever.
it was a cool heroic act. Fucking Liam, just this random hand busts in heroically. Yeah. But unfortunately, Brahm has fallen. But the rest of the family survives. And with that, we'll take a little break from the action. We'll see you guys in 15.
All right, that'll do. 15.
And we are back. All right. Where we last returned, I guess, is a pretty sad sight. You see a dead man amongst the pile of corpses of these inhuman beasts. A family torn asunder, their farm and homestead in shambles after a great battle. And the adventurers talking to this old man who's got a sorrowful and forlorn look on his face as he looks down at what you presume to be his son.
I'm gonna say a few comforting things to him because I'm a man of faith. So I'll put a hand on his shoulder and I'll tell him, well, he's back to the land that he loved, land that he raised. I'm sure he was a great man and he'll be missed dearly. I can help you to give him his last rites if you want.
What religion does Liam? I'm assuming from the West. Does he worship the?
Well, he was a
the
Westerner.
three?
That's what you said, so I
Yep.
don't really know.
I would say I think the main religion is what did we call it? Well, I'm just trying to church. Oh, it's like the Holy Trinity essentially, but did we name it? One second, let me pull up our world building lore sheet
Wait,
here.
is it Earth, Wind, and Fire?
No.
I don't know if we ever specifically named the religion
We
itself.
didn't.
But I
We
know
didn't
it's...
name it. We can name it now. Basically, it's a theocracy that basically the West is a oligarchical theocracy led by the father, the mother, and the child. It's a religion that basically the sole purpose is everybody goes on a pilgrimage or tries to do a pilgrimage to gather the shards of the world. That's kind of the indoctrination. That's the main religion. So the idea is that the creator God spread itself across the land.
Yep.
And they believe that
And-
if they get them back together, they'll bring the god back.
Yeah, that's kind of
that's great.
the dogma.
From the earth to the earth. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jameis nods and he takes off his sun cap to reveal a bald head, and he looks down at his son as this other man, one of the farm hands and himself, buries him in the family cemetery. It looks like one other grave was there. It is marked but has no name. They don't have such niceties. It's marked by a very nice mound and rocks. And Jameis, he just bows his head after a while, after you guys kind of get this situated. He's like, he will be with his wife. It is a sad thing to bury your own son.
He nods.
It is.
Now, what
There's
happens to the sword?
He
It's iron sword.
looks at you. He's like, that would go to his to the boy,
son.
Jeb.
So yeah.
I am actually gonna offer. You know, it's a common thing for people like me, and I used to have a lot of young under my tutelage. If you wish for this boy to not stay here because the danger is too great, I can take him with me and I'll educate him.
Jameis looks to you and then looks kind of to the ruins of this place. Half their hands are dead or gone. His son buried, and just him and Imelda, essentially, two old people way beyond their years.
I
And
mean,
they
I'll offer to take them too, but that's not up to me, you know.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
the
looks and he's
caravan
like,
will take you to town.
it's like there is nothing for us here. If you treat the boy well, I think he's very sharp. Make a I don't even know what kind of conversion check.
Charisma.
Charisma?
Yeah, I think it's
Probably
charisma.
be
It's got to be.
charisma, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not too shabby. Got a 13.
nice.
Let's see if the
Charisma.
dice likes me.
He's a charisma based guy. Yeah. Jameis looks to you.
Not bad. 19.
And in fact, seeing your heroics, by the way, everyone gets 1,000 experience. Liam, you get 350 additional because you actually were in the battle and did some pretty epic heroics on horseback. Like, and now you're saving an orphan child. Yeah, you get.
That's fair.
It might,
Saving.
yeah, saving,
Yes.
quote unquote.
I will save him.
Operation Meat Shield.
Fucking Hail Hydra over here, guys. Hydra
Right.
over here.
He takes kind of a look of the land and he realizes the situation that he's in. And Jameis says, yeah, we can't till these lands ourselves. I'm getting too old, and I was hoping that Brahm and then Jeb someday would take it over. I am way too weary. I must leave this place then. I'll take my wife. You said you're with the caravan? Do they mine a couple of stowaways?
I believe
If you bring
we,
food, I'm sure they won't mind.
I believe if we load up what we can on the cart,
All
Tuyo,
of
I
it
think will be.
preferably.
I think Tuyo, you'd be okay. Maybe bringing a couple, 3 more horses into your herd. They look a little bit like they could carry some supplies as well.
Zawina would say as well too. I mean, you guys are very old. And seeing it says, you know, your effective work output for someone your age is decreased. So there would need to be some kind of there's a value differential here. In addition to obviously being able to you know, unload and harvest all these crops. Perhaps one of these horses, as a sign of good faith to the head of the caravan, Quintus Varus, could prove enough of a differential to actually take you on. Because as of now, you're kind of a liability.
Both the man and the woman look to you and they shake their head. It's like just ashamed of things like,
I don't have no love for these people.
yeah, they're ashamed of you. And like, how could you ask? He's like, you see, I have nothing, and yet now you say I'm worth even less.
She looks and she says,
Were you raised in a barn?
no, but I was raised with silver in my eyes, and silver makes the world go round. And the silver provides the shelter and food you need to survive to get to this next town, or to survive.
Jameis, do you have a deed to this property? Maybe Quintus would be willing to spark a bargain with you to purchase this land as a midway camp for any future caravans he might have.
No one owns land in the north. They take it and they shape it.
Maybe they would like to leave a few people then to protect you and help set the farm back up. Either way, you'll have to speak with someone higher up. As much as I like our friend here, Zuena, I don't think she can make any decision.
And I'd rather never do business with the likes of her.
I would still like to purchase food as it was.
You may have it. If you've already exchanged coin with Brahm, then you can have the rest here.
Oh yeah, we'll take what was on the body. I mean, Tyrone, obviously. And
yeah, you guys, after like burying the dead, yeah, they'd be looted. Let's see. These guys have a bunch of axes. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 axes.
Anything usable, sellable, or eatable on the enemies?
I like how it's rolling 8 axes. Whoops. /R. They are 1 quality axes.
I retrieve my spear.
I'll keep the wood axe that I have.
No, everything else on these guys, it's essentially worthless.
So doo-doo. All right.
Yeah, they're dirty old rags. But Jameis does say, he's like, I will say this. Give me a second. If you're taking Jeb, give me a moment. his father would like him to have something. And maybe you guys can take it and give it to him when he's ready. Jameis leaves into the house. After a while, he comes back and he's got a pack. It's like one of those external frame backpacks. So it's got kind of a
Nice.
wood frame. It's nice.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
old beaten
Oh, cool.
leather, very well crafted. It looks rather old. But he unhooks the strap and puts it down. And he's like, he used to travel in his days before he settled here. He has quite a few things from those old times. He will no longer be needing this, and maybe you all be served well. There are a few things in it. You get one 3-slot backpack, one spyglass, and one old map. Inside, so the contents of this backpack, he pulls it open. One of the pouches on the side, it's kind of like a cord. It's pulled tight on the spyglass. It's a brass cylinder. It's old. It's patinaed with just wear and tear, but it does work. And then there is an old map. This map, no one would be able to read this. A northerner Gorm, you would recognize the symbols, but it's not some of the lettering, but it's very foreign to you. Every once in a while, a word will pop up, like an article, like and or the, and maybe some old timey words you might. But it seems to be a northern language that's long lost.
Okay.
And
Like a
it's
different dialect,
yeah,
basically.
exactly. Almost like old English, right? Think of
Yeah.
it that way. You would recognize it somewhat, but you definitely don't know what it says. Its markings and other things are quite cryptic. You would need somebody to decipher that. He's like, but he hands it to them. I think he would like you to have this. And of course, he has the sword, which is just a sword. I don't think Jeb can. Jeb is the boy. I don't think Jeb would be able. Do you have a name tag on him? No. I think Jeb may not be able to wield the blade, but when he's of age, can you please give this to him? You guys can be his stewards. But yeah, I don't think there's a life we can afford him much. It'll be a hard life, but if you promise to take him in, I think things will be okay.
I
Take some
solemnly
heads.
swear on my name.
I believe you. He puts his arms around Imelda. He kisses her forehead, and they just kind of sit there and holding each other, looking at Jeb. He looks down at her and says, "I'll tell the boy." The man disappears into the cottage for some time, and almost before you guys start to think something might be wrong, he eventually emerges, his hand grasping the boy on his shoulder. You can see his face just red and puffy from heavy crying. He's got kind of like one of those hobo bags, right? He's got a stick. He's like full Oliver Twist. Yeah, a stick with some of his belongings in it in a big sack. As soon as he comes out, he basically starts wailing and runs to Imelda. She hugs him dearly. And for a moment, they hold each other as a little family group hug very tightly. And Jameis looks down to Jeb and gives him a nod, like, you know what you must do. Be a man. Time as a child is long gone. And he looks to Liam and he's like, well, I think that's it.
While all that was going on, Gorm will have found the pipe from Brahm off the ground, kind of cleaned it up, and well, as they're kind of holding each other, we'll just come up and just kind of kneel down in front of Jeb. I think think your father might have wanted you to have this just as a token. We'll take care of you, I promise. And I'll just hand him the pipe and then just stand up and step back.
He looks at it and he gets those crocodile tears in his eyes again. His chin and his lip quivers. He's got a booger kind of rolling down. He's just a snot. But he wipes it away and steels himself. You see there's a sudden change as he grasps the pipe in his hand, white knuckled. And this boy's probably about 8 years old, so he's very young, but he sucks it up, as they say, and tucks it away into in his pocket. And while Tuya and some of the hands herding the animals come and they clear out some of the belongings, what is good, what's not. They're very poor. I mean, what furniture they had is rustic at best. We're talking like a couple planks on top of each other. Like the bed
Like
was
it's all
just
shit they made
straw.
themselves.
Yeah, very shoddy. It's none of it, but they got them by. Any foods and all that stuff, they would follow you all. The old people in the cart, along with some of the other goods, and you guys would head back. This, what took 3 hours, seems much longer as it's silent most of the way. The tragedy that kind of happened that day and promises of new beginnings as everyone looks forward and heads back to the caravan.
I would, knowing that we're taking so much of the just the random stuff from the farm, I will, out of my own pocket, not out of the money that Maven Estra gave me, I will put 20 copper into shit, what was his name? He moved it on me so I can't see it. The old
Jameis, the old man?
Jameis put it into his
Oh,
hand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tyrone had
And
the
that-
30 on him. Liam would give that.
So he'll get 50 then total.
Cool. They'll take it. They nod and like, we can't
Trying-
thank you enough. At the very least, we know that Jeb is alive and we have our own lives, but this says
You'll
a
be able
lot.
to get by in the city when we
Little.
get there, at least for a little bit.
Little something to propel you forward.
You're too kind. And
Lena looks over and says, "Mm-mm-mm."
You gave away money? What's wrong with you?
Brokies. It says in Southern, brokies.
After several hours, you guys get back. The herds of animals are kind of pulled into the tightly, or I guess they're not. The caravan's set up. They've got things moved best they can without the animals. After it's about noon. It's a little bit later, and probably even maybe 1. And you're met with by several people from the Ebon Hawk. Like, what the hell happened? Who are these people? Everyone
So-
shares the stories, but yeah.
Yeah.
Tuya's gonna tell them, I'm assuming, right?
She's gonna
No,
be like,
she
Boy,
keeps
boy.
walking past.
boy,
Yeah.
boy, boy, boy,
She didn't
boy.
fucking say anything. So
So
bye.
So knowing like that Quintus, really hasn't been seen all that much, I'm just gonna go straight back to Minerva with the cart with the water and the food, and
Maven Estra. Yeah.
or the Maven Estra, and just sort of spill the all these names.
I know. So many names. I got handouts at least
I
for
know,
some of these guys.
right? And just start spilling it, spilling everything that happened and what they saw, and these creatures, these beastmen. Have you ever encountered anything like that in any of these expeditions? Oh yeah, and put the purse of copper back in her hand.
She takes it and she looks at the sorry sight of all of you guys. Half of you covered in blood, several people missing, a couple of old people in tow, and she just shakes her head. That's awful. She takes the coins and tucks it away, and she says, yes, the beastmen, they do show up. I think they call them Kelikgar in the north.
That
I have
is what
not
they
seen them
say.
personally. I've not seen them personally, but they do inhabit the mountains and these thick forested areas. Um, Usually they don't attack the caravan. They're usually they know it's dangerous. They try to stay far away. I've heard that they attack people, raid villages, that sort of thing, but
Well, and the big
that's
one,
it's awful.
the big one for at least the beginning of it, just like he was looking for something.
Mm,
The big minotaur looking horned one.
how
It was
strange.
yeah. I don't know if it's something that for all the caravans that we bring through here, if that farm was a stop off point, food wise, it's unless somebody else takes it over.
Like
Not-
I do not know. That is strange. What I would say is I would speak to Quintus. He's a bit of an expert on such matters. He knows the lands very well, and he's been up in this place very often. I'm sure he'd like to know what has happened and why the caravan has a couple of more people. How many did you say they were?
Well, 3 in total, but we did unfortunately lose one. So really 2 extra mouths
Two,
to
we
feed.
lost two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We did lose
Tyrone
2.
too. Yeah,
Tyrone, yeah. So really
and
only one extra mouth
Kale.
to feed in grand scheme of things.
We'll send them over. We'll get them well fed and taken care of. Uh, she just shakes her head. She's like, "Thank you. I'm sorry to put you in such danger. I thought it was a simple thing. I now know that you're trustworthy, and I appreciate you." And she gives you a touch on the shoulder, very professional, and then walks off to attend to the rest of the place. The camp is getting moving now that you guys have returned with the water and with
What
they
food
were
we
just
could.
yeah, and they're basically waiting. The animals need to get set up, so the caravan's kind of a buzz with sound. People are herding the animals, getting them in place, putting them into the stirrups. Um, yeah, but after some time, the animals get set up. The caravans are latched on, and you guys get moving a little bit later than you wanted to. The weather as you move through the mountain pass on this day becomes overcast. As the elevation goes up, you feel it's a bit colder. Some of those who are not used to this climate, Zawinia, definitely has a hard time with the thinner air up here. Um, and the mountain pass, which was kind of wide rolling hills and open farmland, becomes stony and difficult to traverse, and the paths become narrow as you eventually start cutting up winding switchbacks into this white mountainous area. Uh, the first day, or this day, I guess, the rest of the day, give me a 1d100 as you guys travel. Somebody.
Oh,
Anyone.
alright.
Ooh.
18.
The weather worsens. Those
Ooh.
dark clouds become dense with rain, and there's thunderstorms basically rolling in. Just black. Even in midday, it looks almost as if it's night. You can see flashes of lightning in the horizon, and you suspect the next couple days the weather is going to be terrible. But the day is relatively uneventful. These winding mountain paths, they are, although a bit rough, it's all carved out. Most of this terrain looks to be carved out by somebody. These are actual roads. This isn't just well-worn dirt where wagons have come by. Uh, and the architecture seems to be quite ancient. The stones are rounded at the edges. They've seen some erosion. But you guys
So
get
it's
through
just a
to the
pass
night.
that they found.
It's a known pass. Erden's Pass is a known pass that goes back to the First Kingdom. It's imagine, like a Roman, like like a Roman road. It's over 1,000 years old, but it stood the test of time. Peoples before had carved it.
Just
But
that
it's
well worn and yeah.
Yeah. And the road eventually disappears. It becomes a nuisance once you guys get into the switchbacks of the mountains. But you can definitely tell like certain parts are chipped away or broken to occupy like a traveling caravan. But eventually you guys get into the deep mountains. It is dark and rainy, and the caravan stops in a place where you think many travelers have staged. There's cairns kind of marking the area, and it's got this huge what do they call them? It's a overhanging rock formation. It looks like a very nice place for people to kind of set up. It may shield from a lot of the rain. But it gets deep into the night. By the time you guys stop, it's dark, and they not dark. They want to set up camp before it gets dark, and so they do so kind of in this place. The wagons are set up nice and tightly. They can't do a full circle as they would like to, but you guys will settle down into the evening. You're called upon, even though you did some work already, Gorm. They're getting the kitchen kicked up for dinner.
Yep.
Basically, you're doing your second shift of the day. Good for
Yep.
you. What was his profession? Now I'm thinking. So he would have been a hand. He's basically a general worker. So that's what he would do. You would help in the kitchen as well, Liam, doing setting stuff up, setting up like the tent and the tarp and getting the cauldron put in place and all that stuff. In Zawinia,
The fork on
you
the
got
left,
leave.
the knife on the right.
Yeah.
Yep. Set the tables. Not that nice. You would just be like getting stacks of like the wood bowls ready and whatever else needed to be done. Zawinia, you're on full leave. This actually starts your weekend. Next day is a off day for all of you guys. But yeah, you camp down to the night. Most of the dock or the caravan hands, they're all set together. They've got fires going on, and the camp is mostly quiet as everybody kind of peeks over their shoulder in this strange land where the shadows of the mountain kind of stretch across. It looks unreasonably dark. You can't see the moon, you can't see the stars, and the wind is picking up. And you can kind of feel it change direction sometimes as it gets caught in this narrow pass. And altogether, any fires that are up, they're getting whisked away. Embers are getting blown out. So people are doing low, like a coal, ember, like, I don't even know what you call it.
Yeah,
Low
yeah, we're
heat.
like
Ember. They're ember
They're just
fires.
embers.
They're ember
Yeah.
fires. Yeah.
That's really the only thing you guys can maintain. And even then, most people are like, yeah, it's just scattering everywhere. Let's put fires out and try to get to bed early.
Yeah, that
veggies.
Box in the fire.
Yeah. The veggies
Yeah.
and the onions and everything aren't chopped quite as well as they have been in the past.
Yeah, everything's
Few
been
days.
real quick. It's like, do we have limited light? People would be setting up the caravan too for the rain. They've got tarps pulled up. They've got dry goods under under the caravans to protect it from any rainfall. But
I wanted to talk to Abdul as well too. This happening, and sometime
Yeah.
between now and whatever.
yeah,
Zelina
you're free, so you can.
Yeah, I'm just chilling. I go over to Abdul and say, I knock on his tent, or I find him and just say, "Can I have a moment?"
Abdul, he looks to you and he looks very different from that morning where he was rough, unshaven. He looks clean and as slick as he almost always does. Yeah, your blur is
blurry. Hold on, let's. Wow, dude, hold on. I feel like I'm in the Matrix, man. Hold on.
You're making my eyes.
I'm fucking watering, dude. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry. I got. I don't know. Sorry, I guess.
It's a little better.
It is a little.
It's still blurry. I feel like I like
Like I don't really have my
40
glasses
Wait.
on, but
like
I do.
44. Okay,
Yeah.
that's better. That's
Oh, there
better.
you go.
There you
That
go.
works. It was like 40 vision or something.
Abdul will come out. He's nice and shaven. He's lined up. He's got the turban on. He's got a heavy robe. And he looks down. And he's like, Zoinia, good to see you. Come in.
He would bow and says,
Good to see you coming.
I will say before the coming.
Good to see you going too.
She
You got-
says,
you got
this,
that.
it says, so she bows. This will just be a moment.
There's
of your
3
time.
women in the camp.
Yeah, I want to say. Yeah.
Hate to see you go, but I'd love to watch you leave.
Yeah, he's already made a move on her like immediately.
Literally, it's like a third girl thing. All right, but she would say, it won't be that long of a conversation. She says sadly, but I just wanted to tell you, she leaned close and says, at that camp, an above table. So we only purchased and got the things that we paid for, correct?
We didn't pay for anything, technically.
Yeah. Any copper, you guys didn't pay. You're like in the middle of sorting that out, and
Yeah. Okay. So we only got the goods that we were supposed to get, right? Correct?
yeah, all of that. He basically said, "Let's pack up. We don't have anything here.
And
Let's salvage what we could."
We got the 3 horses and whatever
free.
food was left. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially free. I mean,
Oh, so we got all the food too, like everything else, all the other food too.
they packed up
Everything
their
that
house.
we could get. Yeah.
They wouldn't leave anything there. It's
That's
not like they're gonna go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about well, I wasn't sure how long that would take. That's a long time, right? To harvest the field.
Well, that's why it's so late as it's getting back.
No,
No,
there wasn't. They wouldn't harvest. It's mainly whatever stocks.
Yeah.
Okay,
have.
that's what I
Whatever
thought.
they already had in the house.
Yeah.
But
I
like
say,
that's
they're
still a lot
harvest-
of food.
Yeah. But
They
not
had
like
a pantry that was
harvesting
probably
shit.
stacked.
Yeah,
No,
in a larder.
and we wouldn't have been harvesting the field anyway because between the blood-soaked field and the horse
Yeah, it was
trampling,
trampled and shit, yeah.
basically
But
fucked.
that's only one of the fields, though, right? It was like 2 of them, right?
Yeah, the other one wasn't. The crop hadn't yielded yet.
Yeah.
Think of it that way. So it's tilled and they're sprouting, but it wasn't.
Dwayne
But
has
we
the
would
after
also
money.
have picked up some tools, I guess. Whatever was
A hoe,
useful.
whatever.
Yeah, and it would be absorbed. Yeah, hose,
Yeah, the
pitchforks.
Couple shovels, probably
axes,
a little,
shovels.
yeah.
keep
Yeah.
that stuff,
Some
right?
axes.
But she would say to Abdul, on the way back, there is a field of untilled food. I'm not sure whatever cash crop you want to put or whatever. There are at least one. I know that's on the map, but I'm not sure if any more than that. But she would just say that could be a very fruitful endeavor on the way back. Brandon, anyone, if any raiders leave that alone or any kind of, other beast can live out there. It's quite dreadful.
He looks at her and he's like, "You are quite pragmatic, aren't you?" And he barks a laugh, just a good-hearted like.
The desert is a very harsh place, as you know. And
I do know. And if I wanted to be a farmer, I would have been. That's no use to me.
she smiles.
In the north, I'm sure you know, they say that nobody owns the land.
That sounds ridiculous, she says.
Mm. Well, you saw what happened to that man. I've heard the story already. And things move fast. Eventually, the land came and took it back. At least that's how I see it. I appreciate the information. It is very different here. The people don't have such beliefs.
Because if not, we just took it. We would have sent some riders out there to just take it.
Yeah, people take the land and they hold on to it as long as they can. But
so there's no. She was clear about it. So there's no ownership of land and deeds.
It's whoever can protect it. And he's like, "There's no government here. It's loose. It's a lot of tribes. Some are stronger than others. South of the Ma, there are some civilizations, especially.
You see the wheels are turning in her brain. He's like a mass army.
It's basically manifest destiny out here. Like you just take whatever you want, and the conquerors get to see. set
She
up
said-
ownership.
She says, and what are they particularly trading? And she's like taking notes at this point. I mean, like money, gold, or goods specifically that the tribes traded. Do you know these things?
It's like, yes, that's how I've built my wealth.
And she's like,
They'll trade in anything: weapons, food,
Mm.
skins, furs. Tools are particularly useful. Weapons, of course, it's very rare to get out there. There is a few
Hmm.
craftsmen.
arms dealing, you say?
Yeah, and then raw materials. There are,
Arms dealing plus, you say?
yes. It's like he looks at her with a knowing smile, and he's like, he sees that spark, that entrepreneurial like drive, and he's like, now you understand what we risk it all for. There's tin mines, silver mines. There's been said to be gold. There's so much here. The land is open, but it does take a bold person to claim it.
Well, if they need iron for weapons, well, look where we're from. She smiles, and he's okay. I have a plan. He turns and leaves. Thank you for your time, Monsieur.
He watches her walk out with a very with a nice grin on his face. So she's wearing like winter clothing, so
100%.
There's not
Dude,
it
she's
doesn't
built
do
like
anything
a
for her
fucking-
figure.
Yeah, she looks like a jelly bean.
But any man bricked up enough for months and months at a time,
Hey,
just
present rules.
just her long hair and the presence, he's drinking
Dude,
it
it's
in.
like it's almost like the military rules. Like every two becomes like a 6, and every 4 becomes like an 8. Kind of thing. With enough time, with enough time, it's like first day
It's the
she was
mermaid effect.
Exactly. Everyone's thirsty. It's a
good
desert.
time, not a long time, but good time. Don't worry.
Yeah. But he'll eventually close the door. You see the orange light from the candles disappear, and you're back into the darkness of the camp.
Scene ends.
Nice. Yeah. Yes. And that's why the Ford camp, once you guys get through the mountain pass, this place is rich.
Did a day pass as well too? Sorry, make a joke. Did a day pass?
Yeah, that was the end of the night, unless anyone else had other activities at the end of the day.
Level up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys level up.
I think
I'm
I'd
gonna
wait
take
until,
care of the boy.
Yeah. Oh.
I think I wait till the next day to actually talk to Quintus at that point, with having to do my second shift with everything that had gone on. I'd probably wait till early morning the next day to actually talk to him.
Okay, nice. 2 8s. Jeb, Jameis, and Imelda, their small little the family unit. They're outfitted by Mavenestra with some basic tents. Liam, who I guess is now kind of the steward of the boy. I'm sure you're helping them out, kind of get situated, and
Yeah.
I guess you
Yeah, I'm
guys
really
are now
taking care of them.
Yeah. He'd thank you, hand on your shoulder. Not just a gesture of just kindness and closeness and thankfulness, but to hold himself. He looks a little weak and tired. It's been a long day, and these people have been traveling. But they sleep together, including Jeb. He sleeps with them in the same tent. But you guys kind of have like a little village. It's Liam and you three. I don't know.
I
about
wonder,
the
is
rest.
the old woman, can she cook? Because she could help.
Oh,
If she can cook.
she can cook. She was like, oh yeah.
So I'll help her to and from the kitchen, but other than that, I mean, I'll take care of the boy and the old men as much as they need it.
Yeah, Imelda, she can cook. Just the skills. She can sew. She can kind of do all of the homesteading, And
Oh, dude, sewing. I bet they fucking need that there.
yes, that's a huge thing. She can sew and just do other odds and ends in that capacity. Jameis, he's
I make sure the boy is with her so that he can learn and practice.
It's having a tailor is useful. You never
Yeah.
know when you need to stitch something together.
I mean, I want to cook in a tailor is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I see. Liam is like, yes, I love it's good
Let
to
him
be
be
at the top.
useful. He's still little, but he can help.
Yeah. And Jameis, he's not very skilled. He's a farmer. Like his dad was a farmer. That's about it.
He's
He'll
probably
know.
pretty
Yeah,
wrecked
well,
anyway, physically. Like,
Yeah,
he can probably help light fires and sort of do
maybe
some of
chop
that.
some woods a little
yeah,
bit.
he can do some
Yeah.
light duty stuff.
Yeah.
He probably help in the kitchen too, like just
Yeah.
serving, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Yeah,
But anyway, I'll take the old man along for the work that I usually do. If he can help a little bit, I'll carry his weight though.
yeah. Do you see that he's sturdy? He's not like over the hill. He was still working, but you suspect just a hard life of hard work has hardened him to this point. Most people at his age would not be useful, but he's got that old man farmer
Awesome.
strength. Um, yeah, and the night goes. Rain eventually falls, and it's cold and it's humid and it's wet. The next morning comes and it's cold and it's humid and it's wet. You see kind of runways of mud coming down. It's a steady rain. It's not very heavy. But there's definitely a damper in the morning as there's no hot meal, no fires to be had. Uh, you would have been woken up, Gorm, to kind of set up, a little area where people come through. They've got a tarp pulled tight to try to shield from the rain, but it's unavoidable. It's everywhere, muddy and wet.
More like
Um,
a hard tack breakfast with, that kind of.
yeah, it's not warm. It's whatever they had. So yeah.
Yep.
But people, they're just happy to get up. The night was rather cold, especially towards the end. Those of you who don't have like good for blankets, which I think none of you do, it was uncomfortable at best. A standard bedroll is fucking basically a sheet at this
Yep.
We
point.
huddled though.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, you guys have to huddle up. Jeb in the middle. But the morning comes and the caravan moves on. And let me move
Ju-
you guys.
just as the caravan does start moving on, I would try and find Quintus just to kind of give him the story.
Yeah,
Like
it's your off day.
Yeah, just to lay everything out while we're moving, just kind of give him the whole scenario. The same story, but the same thing would be said to him that I had talked about. So that the farm that you were using to resupply on this trip's gonna be falling empty, so I don't know if that's gonna change any of your future trips through here.
Yeah, as you arrive to his area, I don't think you've been to his quarters. He's
No.
got a large tent. It's a big tent. It looks like it could probably house like 20 people. He'd let in. He's like, "Get out of the rain and watch your shoes. Don't track any of that mud in here." And he's like, "When you
Try and
open, you pull
pull
back
him
the
off
tent
at the
flap."
door.
Yeah. The tent's large enough where it almost has like its own little mud room. Like as you pull the flap, the area you see a line of muddy shoes that are left behind, and then another flap that leads into it.
Yeah.
It's mostly empty, but you do see that he is set up with a number of books on a large desk in the middle. He's got a Spartan bed situation. It's mainly just a bedroll on top of a layer of stacked furs. But the books are everywhere. He's got multiple candles kind of melted down to just stubs. And he says, "Come in, come in." He's like, "I don't think we've met. I apologize. There's so many people."
We briefly on the first day. My name's Gorm, Sir Quintus. I just wanted to give you a little update on the happening. I'm sure you heard about what happened yesterday.
Oh, the mess at the farm. Yes, yes. He gets up and he walks over to the desk and sits down. He makes a gesture towards basically a stool that's next to it. And he's like, please, tell me. I don't would you like some wine?
No, that's I'm perfectly okay. Thank you, though.
It's like super early, no?
Super early.
Yeah,
This is the time when people like there wasn't a lot of clean water. But yeah,
yeah,
he's
Yeah.
definitely drinking some wine
yeah.
as well.
No, but thank you for the offer. I just wanted to take the moment to just kind of give you the lowdown. Just I guess ensure you're okay with the decisions that were made out there at the time.
He looks, he's like, oh, I'm surprised you're asking me. He's like, frankly, I don't care. I'm mostly concerned with getting across this mountain, but I
Well,
appreciate the information. Tell me
it's
more.
it's your money that is being used to fund this, so figured you'd want to know if there was an extra mouth to feed. But you might have an issue with the future crossings with that farm no longer being occupied if it was something used regularly.
That is a shame. We have used them oftentimes. As far as the affairs, I leave that to Maven Nestra. I'm mostly concerned with the area. But tell me, what else happened there?
Well, they
I heard the
the
story.
the entire farm was set upon by beastmen, loggers. 6 of them plus a bigger one with larger horns. That's the one that actually killed Brahm. It seemed weird though. It didn't seem like at the beginning. It seemed like it was searching for something, but never
This
really found out what.
this large one, you say?
Mm.
I'm familiar with the Kelikgar, but tell me more about this large one. It's very interesting. And he reaches for some paper and he's got a charcoal pencil
Mhm.
and begins to scribble down notes. He's like, it was looking for something. What do you mean? Was he
But
looking for some person?
I don't know if it was if it was a person, if it was a thing, but it when they first attacked, it just stood there and sort of roared or like it was trying to speak to something, and it didn't move for quite some time before it finally. I mean, it waited for all the smaller ones to appear like they to die before they actually made a move towards anybody.
He nods. He's like, well, I can't blame him. I'd probably do the same. So, in fact, that's why I threw good money at the people I have around me. Like, that is curious, though, and that he seemed to be searching. Did you find anything on the farm that was of interest?
No, there really wasn't a lot there, but I mean, we didn't. And you'll start to kind of think back toward to the farm just to get if there was anything that seemed off or seemed weird, but I don't think there would be because we really didn't spend a lot of time searching. No, we
Was there an actual underground? Because when you guys passed by the horse and you went around, it looked like there was a cave going under the property.
No cave.
But that was just a map thing?
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
the map.
Okay.
I guess make an intelligence check, Gorm, if you
Okay.
anything did stand out. We'll call it a 10.
16.
Yeah. The only thing that would come to your mind as being quote unquote odd, or at least a curio, would be the map, to be frank.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, it was just a old farm with old people. So
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Janice wanted us to save that stuff for Jeb to give to Jeb, correct?
yeah, he says you can have it, but I just asked that when he's old enough
Yep.
to take care of himself, that
So
it
then,
was his father's.
yeah. So then I would say, the only thing I can think of that maybe was a little off was there was a Janice, one of the older gentlemen we brought with us, did have a map that he wants us to make sure his grandson gets in time, but it's in a very strange northern tongue that I couldn't understand it.
When you mention the strange tongue, his eyes are a light behind his glasses, and he's kind of perked up a bit. He's like, "Do you have the map on you?"
I don't. Actually, that we left that with Liam.
Well, get it, man. What are you doing talking to me here about damn farmers? You have a map.
And I
You
saw
said it was.
yeah,
He's like, "Go." What are you
like literally
still here
just
for?
and we'll go and find Liam to bring Liam with him, since I'm assuming you kind of took control of those items since you're taking care of
Yeah,
Jeb.
yeah, yeah.
So I'll just come find
I'm
I'm
Liam.
gonna be responsible for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all you. You got that 3-slot pack.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, hurry up, man. What the
Yeah.
hell are you doing talking to me about
Yeah.
farmers and mud? I don't care. And you would know that Quintus, he is a scholar. He's a very well-known scholar from the West.
Okay.
He is part of a large organization.
He was
and
the rich-looking guy that looked like he didn't belong in the bar, right?
exactly. He's the money
Okay,
man.
yeah. That's right.
I see. I thought he was just the money man, so it's like he would be worried about
The money.
dollars. So the money. So
We
it's
gotta
like,
the money.
all
pay
right.
for another mouth.
Yeah,
No,
that's what. So then,
the
yeah,
purpose of this expedition was to go here and basically explore and find his main concern, other than getting to the forward camp alive, is research into the First Kingdom specifically. He's a scholar that wants to look for artifacts and old landmarks
Oh,
and that sort of
wow.
thing.
Okay.
See,
So yeah,
he
that map
started
is prime interest.
he started talking about the gold mines and the tin mines. So in my head again, it was like, oh, he's going money, like he wants the money. So that's where, but again, I'm a chef, so that's where his head would go.
Hey, no, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You guys are simple
and-
folk right now.
Yeah, so he will. Gorm will just. I mean, at hearing that, like almost tripping, trying to get himself out to find, get back into the little tent town we have, and Liam, do you have that pack and stuff that Janice gave you for Jeb? Because
Yeah, of course I keep it on me. I protect it. It's for the boy.
I was talking to Quintus Ferris, our employer, about what happened, and when I mentioned just a few of the items that Janice had left for Jeb, he got a little curious about the map and would be interested in taking a look at it. But I know that you're kind of the caretaker for it, so would you be willing to come have the conversation with him as well on it?
Yeah, I'm very curious about the map too. I'd like to learn a little bit about it. I'll bring it to him, but he must know that the map is not to leave my person.
That's partly why I wanted you to accompany.
All right, lead the way. I don't think I've ever been to his tent.
This was the first time I had to. Make sure you take your shoes off in the entryway.
Duly noted.
Yeah. As you guys jog across the camp, it's just wet and muddy, and it's coming down pretty hard.
And then I'll just sort of pop yell into the tent when we get back. Sir Quintus, I'm back with Liam, who is out there with us. He has the map. If we can re-enter.
Yes, come in, hurry. Why do you even ask? You see, as you push open the tent flap into the mud room, he's already got the second flap open, and he's like, well, he's like, what are we doing? Where is it? I want to take a look now.
So I take out the map very carefully, and I mention to him, so you must understand that this map does not belong to us. It's to this boy. It belonged to his father, and I'll make sure that it goes to him, but we can certainly have a look at it.
Wonderful. And he sees it, and it's made on like a skin, right? Like leather, some kind of and most of the writing um is faded, but it is clearly visible. It's actually well taken care of. Like what I don't know. I'm not a historian guy, so please don't get. But whatever they do to keep that stuff, if it's wax or some kind of seal, for the most part, like someone's clearly been taking care of it, and you suspect it was probably Brahm himself. But he takes it and scrawls it out across his writing desk. He's got books and a paperweight holding the corners back. And you see him leaned over, his long arms and his face catch the light a certain way. It's that anime look where you just see like a shimmer
Yeah.
across his glasses, and he's just looking down at it, silent for a long time, several minutes. When his eyes come back into vision, they're wild and searching, and they get bigger and bigger. And he says, "This is incredible. Where did you say that you found this?" As he's grabbing paper and doing the best that he can to kind of replicate it, like quick scrawls and this sort of thing.
I tell him it's the boy's father that had it on him. It belonged to him. They just want to pass it down. We don't know where he got it from, though. We could ask the grandfather, maybe.
Like, yes, this is what this is. And he stands up and kind of straightens out his clothes a little bit, pulling down his coat and smoothing it out. This is an old map by the name of give me a northern name. This will be a famous explorer.
You're the Mongolian name person over there,
Yeah, Val.
Val.
Mongolian name coming up for a
Cool.
famous explorer. Hold on, give me 2 checks. The Mongolian expert. I literally can't even see hello correctly.
But basically, he says this is a replica of an old map that he's only heard of. It's trade routes and a variety of different things. You see the symbol here, and he kind of talks to you through, talks to the academic side. He's like, this symbol is a First Kingdom lettering. This is an ancient dialect of Northern. I've seen a little bit and studied quite the language extensively. He'll even tell you, Gorm, as you're a Northerner or a Eastern Northerner. Yulbat.
Yes,
Yulbat. Yulbat. He was an expedition. He came down. He's probably 7th century, so 700 years after the fall of Batar, who's the king, the original king ruler, the big boss. So he's not a contemporary necessarily, but when he explored these lands far after kind of the fall of the First Kingdom, this expedition had several things marked. And he's like, Erden's Pass is as old as the First Kingdom. It was originally carved there. He gives you a little info
little
dump.
history lesson. Yeah.
Some exposition, but he'll let you know that here, and here, these are caches that were used during the times people would store extra food and goods. I mean, we're talking 3,000 years, but it's quite remarkable. And here, they're deposits, mines of important goods. And I'll mark it on the map.
When you say here, I don't.
You might be on the GM layer ping if you're.
No, I'm not doing any of that.
Oh, okay.
Give me a second. That's just
he's doing it in your head. Then
he's just look. Yeah, like
I'm gonna mark it. Just give me.
Gorm's sitting here listening to a lot of this, just sort of wide-eyed, like because he's always been so far away over on the eastern side of the Gobi Altis. It's like still sort of foreign to him that this is even,
So being a cleric Westerner, I guess I'm immediately interested by the idea that there could be shards, right?
Yes. Absolutely. So let me put these on the map, shrink them down. So this one denotes a tin mine or a tin deposit. I'm going to put the tooltip here.
So near the tip of the northern little fang thing mountain.
This one here denotes a silver mine.
Ooh.
Here.
Along the Mall of Malcantar.
This here is a cache.
Ooh,
That's 2
that-
tiles away from us.
Is
Oh.
that like an opposite end of where the actual Elden the
Erden
pass,
Pass?
The Elden Ring?
Erden Pass, the Erden Pass? Is that's like the opposite side of where that was carved out, or is that would that when
Yeah.
he points to that, would that be something that would appear more like a secondary Erden Pass carving?
You guys, no, it's definitely not a. It's like I don't know. We haven't
Yeah.
explored that way. It's possible. I do know
Got it.
that there is a fork once you get past Batar's Bridge. We may be able to loop back up. I've never been that way. Generally, we try to stay outside of the mountains. But it is remarkable. We may be able to send somebody there. It does seem like it's only a couple of days away.
I wonder who would go.
Let me
Might
finish
be
putting
a-
these down.
Might be a good.
And he's like, it could be nothing. These caches were used to store extra goods, food, that sort of thing. So just in case, something happened on your expedition, you can go to these spots and kind of refill. It could be nothing. It could be something extraordinary, but that's what's marked here. And then it also marks a building here. But he's like, I know of
The
this
Northern
place.
Plateau.
This is a famous place. This is 1 second. I have it written down somewhere. Bear with me.
This is amazing that you can decipher all this. I looked at it and I got, I don't know, 6-7 words off of it from that tongue. That's you are learned, sir.
He looks at you like, of course. Do you know who you're talking to? It's like, what are you talking about? Oh my god, this thing's not loading. Anyway, it's basically the first kingdom fortress. This is well known. This is not like a hidden gem. I have a name somewhere. Oh, known as the Frozen Keep. The Frozen Keep was where King Batar, that's his seat of power for all of the North. As we know, it's already occupied. The Owl clan currently resides there, and they basically have dominion over this whole northern section. But there you go. It is something that you guys would learn now. But it's well known. It's basically a mini city, as far as you understand, that they live in the ruins of this kind of ancient kingdom. It's a stone fortress. But he says this is remarkable as he's doing the best he can to kind of replicate this for his own knowledge. He's like, he looks up and looks to Liam. He's like, I understand this is valuable, and I do not plan on taking this, but I would like to continue to study it. If I paid you, would you allow me to have it in my care for a little while? This is a very important piece of history.
Let me tell you, I'll make you a deal. I'm a cleric of profession. Before I was a simple hand, and I would love to learn what you know. So let's do a trade of information instead. I'll come to you with the map, we study it together, and we both gain knowledge.
He looks to you and he's like, so you seek knowledge. That very well. That is a deal that I can make. We will meet. He looks over a piece of paper. It looks like an itinerary of all the shit he has to do. He's like, after dinner, I have an hour before after sun goes down. Let's meet. Let's talk this through. And I'd be happy to show you. Can you read?
I'm assuming he can, being a
Yeah.
cleric, so I'll say yes.
Good. Do you know any languages other than the trade tongue and Western?
No, he'll know Western and trade, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Good. Well, not good.
But he's trying to learn Northern, so
yeah, he's all I can teach you. I'm not the greatest tutor. I am a researcher. That's not my specialty, but I'll do my best. And I'll warn you now, I have a short temper and I do not suffer fools. So I apologize now if I yell at you and I get frustrated. Just know that
no
that's
problem.
my process.
I'm very tolerant to a fault, actually.
Good. Very well. He's like, then I will see you tomorrow evening, as he's taking notes of this thing and doing his best to kind of replicate, almost trace. He's got thin sheets of paper over it and he's doing his best, like peeling it back, putting it back down, trying to draw over it, that sort of thing.
Charcoal drawing.
Exactly.
Say, yeah, almost like a rub, but
yeah, he just it's like how animators used to do back in the day. They'd peel it back to see the last frame of reference and then continue drawing over top. So
yeah,
but he's doing his best and he's quite skilled. You look when he's doing the lettering, his handwriting is immaculate. It's like calligraphy. It's very, very well done. And he has no wasted effort. An economy of motion. He's done this before.
it seems like a good deal has been struck there. Thank you for seeing me and just discussing those events. I'll get back to making breakfast now. Head out back down to leaving Liam there and head back to the freaking kitchen tent. Start breaking it down breakfast stuff.
Yeah. And this is your free day, guys. The camp stays here. It'll probably try to wait out most of the bad weather. It's got natural overhanging rock formation to kind of shield them. But they are definitely not moving today. The camp is still because of the bad weather.
I would like to, if possible here, continue to try speaking and working on my Mongolian. Northern.
Sure.
I'm just speaking specifically, just focus on going other people saying Singman how, Batukon, Chilling.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mongolian out there. I'm working on it.
Give me an intelligence check as you kind of walking through, talking to other hands. There'd be several people who are bilingual who could talk the trade common, and oh yeah, you're picking it up pretty good. You got a lot of the basics down. Hi, where's the bathroom? How much? Happy birthday. A couple of cuss words. You know, all the priorities when you first learn a new language. You got it down.
Okay. All right, here we go.
What I'll say is, we'll say it's 1 out of 10 progress of fully learning the language. You got some of the basics down. You've got enough words to basically operate as a toddler.
All right. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Yeah. You would feel that it would be sped up if you had like a teacher or somebody But
to
just
actually pay money to actually train me on how to do it.
yeah, this is like a like an immigrant learning TV from what or learning the language from
English from
watching
TV.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you do your best to mimic it and that sort of thing. So, but you're on your way. You're learning.
Working
She's
on it.
determined.
Yeah. Get rich without trying.
Yeah. What are you doing on your free time, Gorm? It
Uh,
sucks. This is like your first free day, and it's just
Yeah.
miserable weather.
What I actually want to try to do is find like I go out and sort of explore just the little area, even in the bad weather, to try to find almost like a wheat rock, like something I could use to actually sharpen my kitchen knives with, to try to help facilitate the faster chop and the better chop, but also with that to I guess in my head I see these knives sort of being broken down and bent and like half rusty, to try to start thinking about how to blacksmith them, essentially to try to improve their quality out on the road.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll find one, but just that's what he would be doing.
Yeah. No worries. What I'd say is, with the weather being as bad as it is, and you're not a geologist,
Nope.
you can make a perception at disadvantage. See
Sure.
what you can. You are familiar with what a whetstone is? No.
Ooh.
Not
You
even
go
gonna
out-
gonna roll it a
Why?
second time.
No, yes. You go out and you're picking up rocks. Most of the rocks in this area, they're far too soft to be useful. You drag the blade across, and it's just like rolling, the iron over. It's no good. It's
Yep.
yeah, it's no good. Most of the stuff here is washed away anyway.
Sure.
You'd find yourself like mostly covered in mud from the ankles up to your knees. Just and it with the rain gets worse. It's like a Charlie Brown rain cloud on you.
Just right over top of me as I move.
It's awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, after research, you don't find anything else.
Yeah.
But how many hours how long did you want to spend on that activity?
I mean, I probably would spend, especially getting that wet and that with that kind of rain, you'd probably spend like 3 or 4 hours doing it, and then just sort of trudge back to the tent to try to, just sit. Even though it probably wouldn't fully dry them out, at least get out of the rain and underneath some cover for a while.
Oh wow! If you want to spend 3 or 4 hours, I'll give you another roll.
right.
Again, disadvantage.
17.
Ooh, 17.
Lucky. Yeah, you're out there for a long time. 3 or 4 hours in the pouring rain is
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
Yep.
Give me a constitution check.
Sure.
You find the rock eventually. It's like a lot. You're picking stuff up, testing it against the knife. Eventually, you find a piece of, I don't know, what's a good whetstone. I'm not a.
Well, you could use almost like a flint rock or something too to just
Yeah.
lightly start rolling it over. Flat
That
river
works.
stone, something like that.
Well, it says natural whetstones are typically formed of quartz or novaculite. We'll say
Yeah.
it's a nice piece of quartz. Keep it simple.
I can say that word.
I can say that word.
The other one. Yeah, you find a nice piece of cloudy white quartz. That's the crystal is formed where it's got a nice flat edge, and it's a good size. You can hold it in the across your hand. I'd say maybe like a soda can
Oh, nice.
size. Pretty chunky. It's not worth much as by itself. It's cloudy and misformed and all that sort of thing, but it works as a whetstone.
Yeah.
But as you get back to your tent, soaked to the bone, you do feel you're under the weather.
Sure.
Tuberculosis.
Yep. We don't have any disease rules or sickness rules, but I'm going to say
Well,
you.
no, I mean, you can just make that up.
Yeah, I'm going to say that your any physical attributes or anything that you do physically, you're just going to be a disadvantage for a little bit.
Almost like an exhaustion, and if you want to, yeah.
Ooh, you got the Rona. That's 4 days. Probably going to be 4 days that you're going to be.
Baby.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's Spanish flu, dog.
Yeah, you don't feel good. As soon as you get in, you immediately regret it. You pour the water out of your boots, and yeah, you got the sniffle. There's a little tingle in the back of your throat.
Nope.
So
sounds good to me. I'd assume at that point he would, especially with his day off, he sort of tries to curl up and and just try to go to sleep, you know.
Oh
yeah.
my God. Dude, like double-headed dragon. Everybody's gonna get a fucking influencer, guys. The chef, if the chef has influenza, bro, we're done, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Because he makes our food.
I'm pretty sure Maeve
They don't
is
have
like
no gloves, no masks.
Yeah.
No, that's influence for everybody. We're all dead, dog.
She's all, you're lifting boxes, asshole. You're not.
Yeah, I'm not prepping.
Coming to work sick.
Oh, tuberculosis.
Yeah, I got the black lung pop. What's Liam doing on his? I would say he's on the same work schedule. This is a day off for everybody.
Well, it depends if Quintus wants to stay and look at the map. I'll stay with him because I was already there.
He's only got a couple hours in the evening. He'd tell you.
Okay.
Generally, he's.
So I'm gonna
busy.
spend my time with the boy. I want to teach him stuff that he needs to know around the camp, how he can make himself useful. I'll bring him to the kitchen, teach him how to peel and cut. But I also want to teach him how to read and write.
Okay.
So I'll spend all my time with him.
Oh yeah. Over the course of the day, let's see. He's just his intelligence is probably a -1. He's a little kid. Well, let's see here. He likes the lessons. He seems to be very eager to learn, as children are. What subjects are you teaching him? Little homeschool session.
So I'll start with survival because that's what he's facing right now.
Yeah.
So how to find food, make food, prepare stuff to eat.
Set up a tent.
How to set up camp, how to make a campfire, how to cover yourself properly through the night. Stuff like that.
How to tie knots. Yeah, the classic. Let me teach you to camp. It goes well.
How to use a knife.
He's eager. He's a good boy. He's eager to learn and eager to please. He likes learning the knots, and especially when you hand him a knife, he's like little kid. He brandishes it. He does a couple poses. You probably smack him on the back of the head, like, "What are you doing? Don't play around." But yeah, Jeb, he enjoys it, and you feel that he's just a kid. He's laughing and making jokes and as kids do. Sweet. Yeah, you're able to do that. We'll say there's no like level up system for this. He's just, you guys bond a little bit. You learn, and when you take him back to the kitchens, Mavenestra hands him some candy, some hard candy, like yeah, like a Jolly Rancher or something like that. Whatever they have.
Butterscotch, butterscotch, caramel.
But she's like, "We'll put him to work. You look pretty smart." I don't know if peeling. I don't know if peeling or cutting is good. I saw you with that knife earlier. Let's start something small. How about this? Yeah. And she is like, "How about this? You'll walk him to a water basin and big old pile of dirty dishes. You start here.
Clean it, dude.
Yeah, he's got to earn his keep, boys. There's nothing free in this life.
Nope.
Ain't shit free in Dithra, dude. And Zarina's trying to get paid.
Oh yeah, she's immediately. So I know your entire family and your livelihood and multiple generations have been murdered.
But if you're trying to, listen, you gotta get laid out. One of the two. Listen, I'm trying to get paid, dude.
I appreciate that cutthroatiness. She's like, "Look, it's hard to be a woman in this world as it is, much less in the North,
Yeah,
which
man.
a bunch of straight up murderers with shady past. Yeah,
all these
I don't need friends.
yeah, no one. Literally, I said we can be friends. No, we're not friends. All right, well, fuck you then. I literally said, let's be friends. We're friends. And this, he's like, oh, you guys are shit. You guys are the quality down. I'm like, guess what?
After his son is
your family quality went down too. It went down 2 points.
yeah. After his only son is not even cold yet in the ground, trying to wheel and deal.
Hey, I'm a merchant, man. Listen. It's the saying: when blood's on the floor, it's when you buy. And hey, blood's on the floor. I bought. I was trying to. I was trying to get paid. But but these are not my morals, guys. This is the morals of a cutthroat businesswoman, bit of a girl boss, Zawina.
Yeah, she's spending her free time making friends. And I would say in general, give me a 1D100 call high or low, Val.
All right, hold on. Am I calling this or no?
Yep, call it.
Hi.
43.
You don't make any friends necessarily. Like it's very conversational. A lot of people are they're happy to talk some small talk, but it's almost they mostly give you the cold shoulder, even though you're learning and trying to practice with people.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're like, dude, I got work to do. I'm tired. I'm not trying to talk to some
It's
girl.
like, hello.
Yeah. Most people are like, I don't have time for this. But you do get a couple people who are just polite enough to exchange a few words, and they seem very happy to share.
I know I sound like a fucking Sims character to these people.
Hello.
Zamani Zunda. Zuni way. That's what I sound like to these people.
Bathroom is like random words come through.
Yeah,
They're like,
it's like Zamani Zunda cheese. It's like, what?
They're like, oh.
Okay, that's it.
But you have not networked. You have not gained any friends. I would say most people are a little standoffish. I'd say she has a bit of a reputation as a hard ass.
100%.
Yeah, at this point, like multiple men and other people have made moves, and I imagine she's like not having that shit at all.
You can't listen. You fuck way to the top, you get a glass ceiling.
Yeah. I would say the rapport. Yeah, you ain't got any friends except for maybe this crew.
I've seen Game of Thrones and Above Table. I know how that shit goes. In real life. You fuck your way to the top. If you fuck your way to the top, you hit a glass ceiling. You can't get higher than the master.
That's true.
All the
power. You guys spend your downtime. Oh, Gorm, did you? Yeah, you look for your rock and got sick. Yep. Sucks, man. This is rough.
Tuberculosis, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm the one that decided to stay out in the fucking 3-4 hours.
Yeah, and although in the morning there's a little bit of movement, they were not going to open up kitchens again. So anything they would have given you guys some dry rations, that stuff. You go.
You cook it yourself if you got the tool to do so.
There were some leftovers from the night before. Other than that, I mean, the camp is extremely quiet. Most people are just spending their time trying to stay warm and try to stay comfortable best they can in the bad weather.
That's hilarious because that means Zelina just popping on people's tents like the fucking orchid man.
Basically, that's why they're a little like she pulls it back. Hey, do you want to talk? He's like, close the fucking tent.
Hey, dude. So I remember how like in the old Pokemon games, like no one had their doors locked. It was just up to their fucking house.
Or like Zelda, you're like,
you go through all their shit, steal their boxers and their money.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm the main protagonist. I know you're pooping right now, but could you teach me some fucking Spanglish? Thanks, I appreciate it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so Peter like, hey, I don't have any social manners, so I'm gonna walk in your house. But yeah, that's what she's doing.
Cool. Yeah, you're trucking away trying to maybe make friends, but at the very least you're learning. And
I want like the language. That's the biggest thing. Friends secondary language because I got to be able to trade with these people to get this fucking tin and this gold.
Yep.
Particularly gold.
Oh yeah, and you definitely suspect the Northerners. The trade tongue is not the common language up here.
Yeah. That's how to rip me off and like, oh,
Yeah.
like so like, oh no, go belong to the land. You can't, so you can't trade for that because everyone has it. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm not.
And this is just the cold hard facts of it. The people of the North are xenophobic, racist, and the South, the dark skinned person, they're
Everybody's racist in Dithra.
yeah,
Kind of.
pretty
Basically.
much. These guys are openly, and they're like,
Yeah, like the Southerners and the Northerners, culturally, people on Twitter, culturally, is it not a biological imprisoned thing? Culturally speaking, are very xenophobic.
yeah,
AKA slash bigoted, AKA slash racist.
yeah,
That's why
100%.
Zawina was like these Northerners above table. Hey, man, you guys fuck wolves and shit. You guys don't care about your friends. Listen, cut me a deal on this, and you know what I'm saying, buy some more wolves to bake, whatever. I don't know what you guys do.
You wolf fuckers. Everyone's the pig fuckers from the west, the wolf fuckers from the north.
Yeah,
Everybody fucks animals.
Yeah, that's for whatever reason. When you
That's
think
why they have
about
these beast men.
yeah, the beast. That's exactly it.
There's probably some monomyth or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, some castaway person who bred with. That's usually how those stories are.
Right.
Some like Cain got cast out and had to
it's like,
breed
man,
with
Johnny, man, was little man. He came back from the north, a little weird, man. He a little furrier than normal. I don't know what's going on with that guy, but
so the day is mostly short. Most people are probably going to go to sleep early. The next morning, the storm has subsided. It is still wet and overcast, but the majority of the rains have moved on down the mountain, back towards the coast this way. So kind of north to south. You guys, the camp opens up early morning, people doing the best they can. A couple of wagons are kind of stuck in the mud. People are getting planks to kind of pull them out. But they continue forward. All of you would have been dispatched primarily to help with the other hands getting the caravan moving again, especially in this weather. That's a lot of it. Clearing out mud, any rock slides or anything that kind of buried the path. There would be, I would say you guys would be in the forward group, just ahead of the caravan, moving rocks and stuff like that as it comes up here. Beyond that, your normal duties are pretty much suspended. The kitchen is not operating in this weather, so you guys everyone's just living off trail mix and trying to get through this next fucking day.
Yeah.
Now, as you guys continue through, the switchbacks go over a peak and then down. You feel that you've made it to the peak of this, the apex of this trail, and now you're on your way down to the other side. Coming over the apex of this trail, you can start to see the area all below. You see a vast forest before you, green, punctuated with white covered snow. And it's huge. I mean, miles and miles of this stuff in front of you. You see another, in the horizon, you see another mountain range there. And then to the right, you can see a massive. So you guys are at this peak. I don't know the elevation, but enough to where you can see all the way down into the valley. You can see the sharp tree line end here, opening up into this tundra. But you guys continue on. As you go down, the road seems to be coming back up again. Rounded cobblestone paths. There's even like markers. You see like these stone box shaped things that have been hand worked. They've been faded with time, either wind erosion or rain erosion. But you imagine that these are kind of like not monoliths, but ruins, whatever you want to call them. Markers.
They sound like T-box markers.
Is that what? Let me see what that is. T-box marker.
Are you talking about markers from like a distant age of like in Skyrim with the whole like signs?
No, they're not. Sort of. They're basically stone blocks. And they would have
made
had
those like little where they pile stones in the shape of something, but it's like all loose stones that they pile
that's
to make
not
markers.
not a cairn, but kind of. They would denote on either side of the path. They'd have kind of
Oh, I know what you're talking
I don't know what
about.
I honestly don't know what they're called.
So it's like in Skyrim. So it's when you go in the mountains, you see those there's like this like a stone like pillar like made of like big rocks on top of each other like that with like a flag on it or something like that. So
yeah, it basically marks the path.
Right. I know something.
It's not like loose stones. It looks like it's actually a carved. Maybe it was a pillar or something like that. But
Like a totem pole kind of thing.
yeah, they're box like. There is no writing on it that you can see. It's rounded with thousands of years of erosion, but they do stand the test of time. You can kind of see the markings of the first kingdom here, and it's more pronounced here than it was on the other side. But as you guys continue on, the caravan stops. And let me paint this scene because we're probably going to have to end here. But as you continue down this road, you go into a valley where on either side, it looks like the mountain has been cleaved away unnaturally. Probably, the first kingdom at some point cleared this pass, but it's high and narrow. And you guys are walking. Imagine just like stone walls on either side. It's like a hallway where the mountain's been cut through. The caravan is very tight, and it does take some movement trying to get things, single file. It takes so forever for you guys to get through this. But as you descend past it, you get into this clearing, and you see before you a great chasm. And in front of you, you approach a narrow bridge that's spanning over this deep ravine, and you notice a large, hulking figure looming on the other side. It's give me a second. I'll move you guys at some point if I can find the damn map. Oh, here it is.
Whoa.
You guys are coming from this way.
Ew.
All right.
So it's a large ravine with a big bridge,
Yep.
and there's a huge creature in front of it.
Massive. This creature is so you see this gateway here. They're large monolithic stones. They're probably massive hand-carved blocks. It looks maybe a figure at some point stood upon it. Fine craftsmanship, but yeah, this is old bridge. And before you, this hulking figure stands butt naked. You can see all the stuff. It's about 22, 23 feet tall, massive. And it towers. It looks over its shoulder, and it's hunched down on the ground, kind of on its haunches, like the Russian squat. And it looks over at you all, and the caravan is at a halt. And as it peers down and turns its attention to everybody, it stands at its full length, and it's a mythological the size of this creature as its shadow casts down onto the caravan. And multiple people gasp at the sight. And we will end there session as you guys see this giant kin or some kind of troll at the bridge.
25 feet tall, guys. That's a
Yeah,
fucking
it's
Dark
huge.
Souls boss at that point.
Yeah,
Holy.
it's
Damn.
huge.
25 feet tall. That's crazy. That's for context, guys watching home. That's bigger than like some adult dragons. I see a lot of adult dragons.
Yeah, he's massive. He could easily tear a tree out of the ground and use it as like a walking stick. Thing's huge.
You gotta shoot that motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, but we'll end there. Thanks for everybody for joining us. We'll continue this story. We're doing this the last Friday of the month. Peace out.
See you
I'll
next
see you
time,
guys next time.
See you next week.
Bye.